works, someone will cry. Which will probably be me. Yeah, this should be fine. It's a little loud, I think. There we go.
If the Arataki gang stirs up any trouble, I'll drag every last one of them back to apologize.
That sounds kinda aggressive, don't you think? But I can approve of it. We can drag some people down.
This is where you've been, Tainari? That's...
Shh! Keep your voice down.
Tainari, everything's spinning.
Is everything spinning?
Am I going to die? Tell Mom that I should have listened to her. And tell Suna that I'm sorry for breaking her toy. I didn't tell her because I was scared that she wouldn't play with me anymore. Tainari, I heard that people turn into birds after they die. Is that true? I feel like I'm getting lighter.
That is kind of scary.
What happened? Tainari, is he?
Okay, enough nonsense. You just have a small fever. Take your medication and rest. You'll be bouncing off the walls in no time.
Really? Then, can you keep the thing about the toy a secret for now?
Cute.
No can do. You're a big kid now. Once you've recovered, go and apologize. Keeping secrets to yourself won't solve anything.
You hear that, kids?
Hey, let me ask you something. I recall that you're usually pretty healthy. How did you get this sick all of a sudden?
I don't know either. Mom's been telling me not to play in the forest. I just wanted to look inside. It's different from before. I got lost and went around in a huge circle. After I got out, I started feeling dizzy.
Could it be?
It could be the contamination region.
So that's how this whole mess happened. Anyway, go rest. No running around until I say so. Got it?
Listen to technology.
Traveler, Paimon, let's step out for now.
Like that almost like. Yeah, I can take that. You can handle that.
Mr. Forest Watcher, how is my son?
Pretty good.
I gave him some antipyretics. Let him rest here for a while. I told him that he would feel better after some medicine and rest, but I only said that to comfort him. His symptoms resemble a fever, but something else is causing them. They seem more akin to a disruption in his psyche. Antipyretics won't be of much use.
What do we do? Mr. Forest Watcher, you have to help him.
If memory serves, a plant called Vasanti grass can help soothe the mind. A small number grow in arid deserts. They usually look like shriveled weeds, but can be revitalized with a splash of water. They're expensive and unable to grow in the Avidia forest's climate, so I don't have any on hand. I'll ask the caravans. Go find Kale. Have her prepare medicinal tools and a set of traveling gear for me.
All right. Thank you.
Contaminated region. Is that why you two are also here?
Yes.
Yep. Is it a new withering zone?
It is more.
Doesn't seem like one. Whether you look at scale, internal conditions, or resultant effects, they're completely different. The only thing they have in common is that they aren't welcome. This nuisance made itself home in the Avidia forest, so I can't turn a blind eye.
Oh.
We feel the same way.
All right, let's contact the caravans first and purchase some Vasanti grass. We can also ask about the contaminated region. There's no time to waste. We have to move quickly. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Okay, we're going fast. Hey Frederick, how is today going? Have you written some on your project? Your freaking bachelor is going. I got an ad. Well, thank you for contributing to me
Everyone hold hands.
by watching an ad.
Keep
8
up.
crimes. Wait, what? Excuse me? How did we get to hate
Excuse
crimes
me.
of all things?
I'd like to purchase some Vasanti grass. Do you have any?
I'm sorry, Mr. Forest Watcher, but we've been closed for the past few days.
Closed?
I've been hate
Now that's
crimes.
odd.
Why?
It's my first time hearing you say something
I think
like that.
everyone have a...
It's a long story.
No,
Some
you
of our
haven't.
goods were stolen recently.
That's life.
They were mechanical parts
People
that we
get
got from
the
the academia.
commercials.
Although
And
they're
it's
old
for
models,
people
they
to
still
survive.
fetch a good price on the market. Our caravans
Nope.
had to pull together more to
Wrong word.
afford those parts. Now that they've been
You're
lost,
doing
we'll
that,
likely come
man.
up short this trip.
How's work going?
All the merchants
like
talked it
school
over,
work
and
going.
we decided to raise the prices of our remaining inventory. Until this plan takes effect, none of us can privately sell anything.
I don't get it. If these goods are so important, then why not think of a way to get them back? Raising prices won't solve anything. At best,
Look at him.
you're shoving the
That's what
consequences
Kira is
of the
gonna
robbery
cosplay
onto your
as.
customers.
Isn't he pretty?
Mr. Forest Watcher, it's not that we don't want to. It's just the thief disappeared into the deepest parts of the forest. We asked around, and apparently the forest has been very unusual as of late. Anyone who goes in experiences mental anomalies. We can't keep waiting out here for the thief to come out. All we could do is come up with another solution.
That's true.
So the bandit hid in the contaminated region after stealing those mechanical parts? How many people were there in total? Were they not affected by the contaminated region?
That crook came from the contaminated region.
Oh.
As for how many, there weren't any people.
No people?
Okay, tell
Even
me
if
about
I
your
tell
school.
you, you might
Is
not
it going
believe
well
me.
with the project? So maybe you
Fine.
don't bring it up
The
as
thief
much
that
notice,
stole our parts
since you're not
was a huge mechanical
That might
crab.
be it.
What the heck?
Might be it.
The Avidia forest has creatures like that?
Is it that crab?
To be honest, I'd rather not think about it. It moved too skillfully
Then
to be
it
new
must
at
not
this.
be a crab. A
It
crab
came out of
doesn't look
nowhere.
skillful.
Before we could react, it swiped our goods and ran away. We were
Oh.
all shocked. By the time we came to our
I mean,
senses,
my
the
countenance on my
thief was
nails,
already
I know
long
what
gone.
to do with the final
I see.
proof now, somewhat.
If we help you retrieve your stolen
That's
goods, then business will return to
guess.
normal?
So you have all
Oh,
your
but of
proof now,
course!
What you wanna...
Not only that, but
Yes,
you'll
but
become
that's
one of our
good.
caravan's
I know.
VIPs
I just
on all
need to
future
write it.
purchases of any.
Enough. Tell me something that's actually useful. Any leads on that mechanical crab?
Maybe one. After our goods were stolen, we specifically got someone to assess the situation. If you're interested, you can go
Oh.
and talk to them.
So you also need to make
All
it,
right, we'll go and have a word.
Good luck, sir. You need it. Because this is tomorrow.
I heard from the caravanners that there have been a lot of robberies lately, but we haven't
I
been
bring for
affected.
an online meeting
We don't
on
normally see
Friday.
the mechanical crab, and
see
it doesn't
your
disturb our daily
teacher.
lives.
I have hiccups now.
It only shows up when the caravans
I
are
see.
here, and it
Meeting
runs back to the
face to
contaminated
face.
region after it's done making a mess.
You haven't tried capturing it?
We have, but it's too agile and fast.
Too fast.
However, we did unexpectedly learn something the last time we tried to capture it. It apparently lives in the deepest part of the forest, so instead of immediately moving its spoils, it first hides them nearby.
Oh.
Once its stash grows large enough, it moves everything in one go. You'll have to move fast if you want those goods back.
Gotta be fast, ba. Faster than lightning. Very, very
Keep up.
frightening. That's how fast you need to be. Uh-huh.
That mechanical crab is fast, strong, and a pain to deal with. 10 of us might not even be able to take that thing head on.
Oh, dang.
Didn't the academia ban research on mechanical life forms years ago?
I had no idea.
Where did that thing come from? Our salaries even got slashed because of it.
Oh yeah.
Who would have thought that that robber wasn't a human, but a mechanical crab? This is rough.
Yeah. I feel you. If that is how it is.
After the goods were stolen, I made multiple inquiries with nearby caravans and residents. It turns out that many others have also been robbed by that crooked crab. However, the crab only seems to be interested in machinery. It doesn't even bat an eye at other valuables. A caravan carrying a large amount of Mora had an uneventful trip, but another caravan had a child whose metal toy was taken.
That is very interesting.
Whatever the case, that thing is a scourge. We'll eventually think of a way to get rid of it.
I see your problem.
How are things? Did you make any progress?
We learned of its behaviors, but much still remains unclear. Assuming normal operational status, mechanical constructs generally act according to their given commands. If I were its owner, I'd command it to steal more valuable things, or the Mora you made. That would be the most efficient method. But it only goes after mechanical components. This doesn't make any sense.
Or maybe it does
Right.
if it needs
It's
to build
really
itself
weird.
up to become even stronger.
So, you all found a way to retrieve our goods?
Nope.
Do you have any more mechanical parts with you?
Yes, I still have a small bag of samples. They weren't taken since I keep them on me at all times. Oh, are you planning to...
Uh-huh.
Under constant external conditions, organisms rarely initiate changes in their habits. Here's what we know so far. It has mechanical composition, it lives in the contaminated region, and it comes out to steal mechanical components. If we have said components, we can lure it out, capture it, and then make observations for further conclusions. Well, chatting like this won't get us anywhere. We're only wasting time.
You're right. We don't have any other options right now. This bag of samples is all yours, Mr. Forest Watcher. If you can get our goods back, the caravans will reward you generously.
We don't need anything in return, but I'll be keeping this bag. I may have other uses for it later. We'll also need to borrow a sumpter beast. Our act has to be convincing if we want the crab to fall for it.
Oh, yeah, no problem at all. If it means getting our things back, you can even borrow me to do whatever you need.
I'll have to decline that offer. Anyway,
He's
we'll
good
use the
selling
mechanical
himself,
components in
thing.
Sumpter Beast to pose as a transiting caravan and lure out the crab. Once it appears, capture it. I leave the timing to you.
Yes, sir.
Don't worry, we're professionals.
Mm-hmm. I am very professional. Professional. I'm going mad. Literally, I am so sure I am going mad. Anyone agree with that? If not, maybe you're the mad one. Why am I talking like this sometimes? Why do I want to create enemies? Because I have a problem.
I've not finished my...
That is not a
Looking at the
that's
trade
not
routes
okay.
and the
If I'm
contaminated region's
Nah.
current perimeter, the goods were likely stolen somewhere around
I
here.
couldn't get
Then
them
let's get
to
to
like
it.
survive.
Definitely capture that criminal crab.
Okay, we'll start from here and have the Sumpter Beast with the components on board lead the way. This Sumpter Beast isn't familiar with us yet, so be calm and take your time with it.
The Sumpter Beast went ahead. Let's keep up with it.
I'm not okay.
I see everything. Huh? Why did it stop?
Ooh, that's what
Looks like it's loafing around. Or maybe it's hungry. The caravanners grew disheartened.
All right, it's moving again. Dissipate.
What are you hungry for, my good boy? Kulilu!
Did you hear something?
Kulu!
Ah! Is that the mechanical crab the caravan was talking about? It's charging
It looks strong. Be careful.
Coming for us. Attack!
Hey! Sharing my knowledge!
Can't see? So.
I think it will be running away. Aww. You tired?
Just try to escape this time, you naughty caravan robbing crab!
He's
Hey!
confused.
Playing dumb won't save you! Spill it! Why are you stealing so many mechanical parts?
It doesn't seem to understand us.
It doesn't seem capable of comprehending complex questions. Keep an eye on it. I'll search around the area for the caravan's goods.
Go! Find the perf.
I don't know why you're stealing mechanical parts, but they don't belong to you. Stolen items must be returned to their rightful owners. Any objections?
It looks sad.
You came from the depths of the contaminated region, right? How about you help us with something? If you take us there, I'll give you some mechanical parts as a reward.
Cute.
It reacted!
It's like a dog. Doesn't it, does it understand us?
We can't be certain yet. Its excitement may be a simple, programmed response upon seeing mechanical components.
Okay, so you want the crab to lead us into the contaminated region?
That's right. The contaminated region has a large and currently expanding perimeter, so it would be difficult to conduct a thorough search. If we charge straight in, we'll get lost like headless pigeons. Also,
being headless
our new friend
and a
here seems
pigeon.
to be full of secrets. I've been studying this contaminated region recently,
that was
and I have a
my,
hypothesis of
pigeon
my
sound.
own. So to be absolutely safe, it would be best to have a guide lead the way.
That is true.
Paimon gets it now. Does the scuttler understand what you're saying?
It doesn't have to, as long as it isn't hostile towards us. I gave it some components that it will definitely take back to the contaminated region. So long as it doesn't attack us, we can simply follow along.
It seems to be really happy.
Listen to me. Wait for us here. No running off. We'll be back soon. If you're still here when we return, I'll give you another mechanical part as a reward. Understood?
Does that count as understanding? Do that count
I'm not
as
sure.
understanding us?
But our priorities are to retrieve the mechanical components and to purchase Vasanti grass to make medicine with. We should return. But before we do, we need to set up a few traps. Can't have that crab escaping.
And he's smart. You are a cute crab. Very cute, especially when you get happy. We approve of that. Let's get some legs. They can run faster than lightning.
Oh! Oh! These are the mechanical parts that were stolen! You really got them back for us! Ah, thank you all so very much. I don't know how I can repay you. Wait, didn't you want to purchase Vasanti grass?
Yes.
Don't worry about the price. They're on the house. How many do you need?
2 is enough.
No, that won't do. Here, I'll throw in some more.
No need. I've already received a reward from you.
Reward? You mean that bag of mechanical parts?
Uh-huh.
They aren't worth much compared to this merchandise.
But those parts are very useful to me, just like the Vasanti grass. I retrieved the things you needed, and you gave me what I needed in return. We're even. Oh, and before we go, just a reminder. The forest has an intricate and biodiverse ecosystem. Even if there were no mechanical crabs, other dangers are still present. Take caution on this route.
Noted. Thank you all ever so much.
That's nice.
Let's return to the
You know,
village.
why are
The
you
earlier we
aggressive
can give
to
the
me?
child medicine, the sooner he'll
This is
start
your
feeling
babe we
better.
are looking at. And here you're just very aggressively towards me. Very aggressive. Oh, mint. Needed a mint.
Keep up.
For happiness.
Our bond is strong.
Running away. I have no energy to jump. You jump. I believe not that I can fly, but I will fall in a second. So I can.
Oh, hi
I
there,
don't know,
Traveler and
that's what
Paimon.
time. It was pretty bad.
Master, I prepared the pharmaceutical equipment.
Good
Do you
job.
need me to help grind the medicine?
No need. A precise dosage is required this time, so I'll do it myself.
Oh, okay.
Aw, Kalai.
But once I'm done, you can deliver the medication to the child. He gets a little nervous when I'm around for too long. I don't think he finds me very approachable. I'll go prepare the medication.
Kalai?
Traveler, give me a hand.
Why are you bullying me, Kita? Kalai. So with a O.
How is he? Doing any better?
And Frederick is
I
going
feel
ham
like he's
over
doing a
Kita.
lot better. And his temperature is returning to
If Kita
normal.
didn't already have Alex, I would say get
wonderful.
married. But
Oh, yeah.
yeah, you know.
He asked me to tell you that Suna came by earlier.
Hey,
And he told her
Hatsumi.
everything about the
How are
toy.
you? Are you feeling
Suna didn't
better
get mad,
today?
so he wanted to thank you. Can I ask what happened?
I feel like you guys are a little.
It's
aggressive,
nothing.
man.
Did you prepare the traveling gear that I asked you to?
Of course I did.
It's
Are
Kalai.
you going somewhere far away?
Yes, we're
Little
going to the
bit.
contaminated
That's at least
region.
good.
Judging by its size,
Don't
we will
worry,
likely
you
have to
will,
stay overnight.
Win the next time over the exams.
I'm leaving everything to
Good
you
luck
while
to
I'm
you.
gone.
Huh?
Kalai, Kalai,
I can't even begin to compare to you.
Kalai.
Many things are learned by doing.
I
And
found
once
the
they've been
Kalai
done,
in the
you'll
name.
realize that they weren't
I'm
as
hungry.
difficult
What
as you
about
once
you?
thought they were. Deal with
Oh, I'm
problems
getting
as you
hungry.
yourself
Guys,
see
stop getting me
fit.
hungry.
You don't have to
I don't need
emulate
to
me.
eat right now.
That's right. You'll do great, Kale. All right, then I'll do my best. Master, Traveler,
Aw, everyone is
Paimon,
just
take
saying
care of
hi to
yourselves.
each other. That's cute. Don't worry.
I'm sure we'll be fine. I
Never
think
get
you'll
on
understand
those
why
buses,
once
so-
we arrive at the contaminated region. You put too much confidence in me. Anyway, like you said, things
Is it
will likely be
understandable that Kida is
uneventful.
hungry?
Let's return
Isn't
and find
just
that crab.
normal that people get hungry? Huh?
Surely that little girl must be leaving soon.
That's kind of mean. That man is saying. Oh well. Not my problem. So people, what are you guys doing? You know what I'm doing. Yeah, Frederick needs help. Good
Keep
luck
up.
for his bachelor.
I see everything.
I will send a god for you, Frederick, if it counts. Oh, the crab is still here. Good
We're
crabby.
here. This should be.
Searching
Huh?
for. Nope, we
Where's
are
the
not
crab?
searching for ropes. We are cutting the ropes.
Did
You
it
do not
secretly
have any
scuttle
ropes.
away?
The
For once
traps
in a
weren't
lifetime.
triggered, so it should
It
still
is
be
louder
here.
than me.
Odd.
I can't keep like that forever. Is this better, Kira? I did a lot on it. It's
You honored
here.
our agreement and waited here until we returned.
That's a good crabby.
As such,
Good
I'll
job.
hold up my end and give you
No
another
worries.
mechanical
I just
part.
thank you for helping me
safe.
fixing it.
I'm not giving you another one if you lose it.
Aw,
Glad you're satisfied.
it's such a cute
If
crab.
you want more mechanical parts,
We can't
take
get
us
crapped
deeper
out
into
of
the
this.
contaminated region. I want to see what happened there.
Okay.
What caused the
Don't need too
abundant
much.
to become like this?
Let's see. Where is it going? Where the heck did it go? Crab! You here? You
So
there?
this is the
Anywhere?
contaminated region that everyone's been
It doesn't
talking
look
about.
contaminated.
Oh, it definitely looks different from normal.
It does?
It's like
I'm blind.
really creepy.
Ooh,
Suffocating.
spooky. Melly, you can't somehow
feel
manage
unwell at
to
all?
be even shorter than you are. And that's saying something. Well, I'm not that small. I'm 164. What? 167. Not 64. I'm not 64. I need to eat something too. Yeah, everyone eat. That's tiny. I'm 167. Shut up, kid. I failed to say it. Okay.
Power confers a degree of resistance.
Wait,
against the
everybody,
contaminated
are you that
region's
tiny? What?
How do you know that?
I'm as tall as Kid and Alex. Are you telling that Kid and Alex is small?
But I've conducted quite a few controlled experiments.
Yeah.
My observations during our time here have all but
Dang, I
confirmed
would
my
not have thought that you
hypothesis.
would be
Look at these
164. I'm
flowers.
gonna be honest.
How are they different from normal?
Well, I'm not small compared to all women. I'm just normal size for women. And they are more colorful.
This flower species is formerly known as the Sumeru rose.
Kira might
but
be
it is also
small.
known as the
No, he
Leyland
is
rose
small.
star.
He is small,
They're
just as
sensitive
short
to
as me.
ley and emit varying amounts of light in response.
Melissa, for a Danish woman, you
Excessive
are tiny.
brightness indicates
Ah!
a dangerous level of ley line activity in the surrounding area. From the looks of things, the ley
Thank
lines
you,
around
Rip My
here
TV.
are
At least I
already
can
under
feel
control.
taller around
You're
you.
saying the contamination here is coming from
No,
Troy?
no way,
I
Frederick.
can't
That's not the
confirm that
normal
right now,
height.
but I think that is the case.
But I will be honest,
Let's take another
I
look
really
around
didn't
and
get
see
the
if we
gene
can
of
discover more
tallness
clues.
like from my family. My mom is even taller than me, and my dad is even taller than that. You know, like he's like a really tall person. Like, so I feel sad.
Hey,
Oh, I couldn't catch it. Sadly. Are these in a different? Oh, that's pretty. I am probably a giant in this chat. Yes! Yes, you are! How do you feel about it, fam? Oh,
grow,
we like
grow.
that. Oh, here. 183, master. That's just too huge. Wait. Do I need to go back? What? I thought we were going that way. Hello? Oh. Can you please give me some of your heart? Yeah, I will also like some part of it.
Time.
Like,
The birds
4
used to
centimeters
chirp
maybe?
really loudly, and there were a lot of
Is that too much to ask? I can also just
The
take 2.
contaminated region currently appears to
3
have a
will be the
critical
satisfying
efflux of ley
height.
line energy, which is
And I will be
probably
1
the root
se-
cause of the patient's
Actually,
cognitive
yeah.
disturbances.
Can you just give me 3
Some
centimeters, then
animals
you
have
like
keen
get
awareness.
like
They sense
180
something
and I
that
get
no one is there and fled.
170?
leaky ley
Sorry
line
guys, I
sure
enjoy my
can
heart.
cause a
Wouldn't
lot
want
of
to lose
damage,
any
huh?
more. Dang it! But it's not as
Like our friends have
satisfying,
preferred growth
Frederick.
conditions,
Come
we
on,
also
you
plan
want the
to
satisfying
habituate to
part.
our
And let me
surrounding
just get my
environment.
9 millimeters.
Climate, temperature,
Oh, centimeter.
humidity,
I am 6
intensity of
feet
ley
tall.
line energies. When people
Why do
live under
people
fixed
count in
conditions,
feet?
they reach
That
a
is
sort
so,
of
it's so weird.
homeostasis
That
with
is
their
satisfying.
environment.
Okay, yeah, if it's 6
This
feet
equilibrium is
precisely,
broken
it is
when the
satisfying. But
surrounding
we are not
environment
talking in
abruptly
feet, we are
changes,
talking in centimeter in
causing
this
people's
country.
bodies to
And
react
in most
abnormal ways.
countries.
If normal fluctuations in temperature occur, then our bodies automatically adjust. However, the average person cannot adapt to changes in ley line energy, and so they fall ill.
Ah, I see.
Then why are we okay?
I'm not sure why you are, but she and I are fine because our elemental capabilities allow us to adapt to this kind of change. Of course, it's not a good idea to spend too much time in areas with
I
concentrated
think being
ley
tall
line
is satisfying
energy.
enough. It's almost
The only one who
exactly
can
6
freely
feet,
traverse
if
this
anything,
place is
is
probably the
like
mechanical
slightly
crab.
above. Exactly, Kira.
That's about it for the investigation. Help me find an open space. I want to test
Yeah.
something.
It is satisfying to be tall. Except if you're hitting the door or like hitting the roof. Then it's pretty satisfying to be small because you can fit into anything. That is the only good part about it being short. Who agrees? I have hiccups.
Environment. No wind. Target parameters. Normal. Setup complete. Excellent. Looks like it's working.
Melissa, I've never heard of bending down or kneeling slightly. Me neither.
Purification device I made. It can absorb
Kid, I've never heard about that either.
And temporarily
Wait,
stabilize an area.
what? Exactly. Not me. Wait, what do you mean with not me? You have never heard that it's nice to be small because you can fit through everything?
Once this contamination is present, it isn't something that a few purification devices can fix. The purification devices have their limits. At best, they can only prevent the contaminated region from expanding temporarily.
Very rarely do you need to be short for something, Melissa.
The ley line effluence,
no!
to tackle the source.
There's a lot of situation where you, like, for example, in my house, I don't hit fucking my lamp, for example, which I would have done if I was a little taller. So, here you go. However, being tall often helps, like, without putting things up or reach stuff. Yeah, I need to have something to, like, reach it. Yeah, like when you need to fit in a crawl space. Also those. Thank you, Frederick. At the heart of the contamination region.
That's right.
Melissa, you can just raise the... No, I cannot. The lamp is not able to be raised. Trust me. Never, kiddo.
Something's approaching.
How often do you... How often do you need to be in such a small space?
So
Never. Oh my god.
The ley line energy is stabilized.
What? One day I will show you.
Get rid of them quickly. Don't let them get close to the purification device. And shroud.
Oh shit. They came at me very quickly. Bye. Do you give me? They did not offer me. Melissa, you can just short the call to... Yes, you can raise it. No, because it's not a normal lamp. It is... What is it called? You know, one of those dangling down looking very fancy. Fancy pantsy.
Hey, where are you? Wait for us! Let's hurry and keep up. The mechanical crab went down.
Then you shorten the chain. No, because it's made out of metal. It's not a chain. It's not that. It is that hard. What is freaking saying? There is no link. There is no chain. It is a chandelier, but it has no chain. It's like metal from the top.
Shazam! I see everything.
I hear everything. One with the forest.
Kinda in my way. I hope it's not crabs and friends or anything.
Spare me. Please spare me.
There's no
Are you okay?
sparing of your life. How dare you think that?
These injuries are superficial. Don't move. I'll patch you up.
That's nice. Can I also be pet up by a handsome person?
Who are you?
I wouldn't mind that.
What happened to those mechanical monsters?
Don't worry, we took care of them.
Yeah, because I'm that strong.
That's good. It's a monster! Hurry, attack
Oh,
it!
that's hate crimes. Was there another ad? Lol.
Krabby here isn't a
That's
bad
kind of funny.
It
Not
hurt
my
me
fault.
to
Mwahahaha.
rescue you.
Mwahahaha. Thank you for cooperating and
It's gonna partner up with the
getting
other
me some
mechanical
money.
monsters and kill
Life.
me.
100% Melissa's
What's
fault.
inside the forest?
No, we do not call me that.
Crawling with mechanical freaks. I just came here to pick herbs.
Well, you know it's
I
difficult.
accidentally went to the
It's-
contaminated region and almost died.
Now we go for violence and arson. Wait, what? No!
Gotta get out of
We
here.
do not go for arson.
Yes.
That is kinda aggressive.
Be careful.
These mechanical life forms are up to no good. It'd be best if you stayed.
Hey, no
far away
swearing.
from them.
Oh, actually, I don't care. But
No wonder the academia wanted to
that's
completely
kind of
ban
aggressive,
the
man.
existence of mechanical life forms.
Is that a dog with a magical
things should
hat?
be annihilated.
Or what is it specifically? Oh, a mushroom. It could also be a mushroom.
His inarticulate speech and bodily tremors
It's a
indicate
mushroom.
psychic
Oh yeah, I knew
disruption.
it. Oof.
He's been inside the
He a
contaminated
fun guy.
region for too long.
Is the mushroom a fun guy?
We've purified the ley line energy
That's
over
nice.
there. Follow this path out and you'll soon see the village.
Fun mushroom. I like funny.
When he gets to the village, someone will bring him to Kale for help. I already prepared
Well, he
medication
didn't
that will
understand the
return him
joke.
to normal.
Do I ever understand a joke? Kira, help. There is no helping. It looks like it's
So,
excited.
you think you did a good job and want a part?
That's
as
a
your
yikes for
reward,
me.
Huh?
Yikes.
So hard to
Same bro.
understand.
Oof. That hurts my
All right.
heart. That you
Regardless
yikes at
of what
me.
you're thinking, you did some real good this time. That's why I'll give you another mechanical part. Need any help with it? Guess not. Well, make sure to hang on to it. What was going through your owner's mind when he made you? I wonder. You're like a giant mechanical crab on the outside and a fluffy little hamster on the inside.
Yeah.
And also, how do you feel about that person saying that you're as evil as the other mechanical life forms?
Okay, it definitely doesn't understand you.
It seems like it possesses limited understanding, only towards matters related to mechanical components. Help others to get parts, that's probably its thought process. As for why it, rather, its owner, is collecting so many components, I'm not sure. It's getting late.
He
Let's
is
set up camp for the
making
night.
a
We'll explore further tomorrow after a night's rest.
big machine. Something. I do not know what he's making. It's something evil. Evil! I do not know what I need to say.
Over here. Come on, you big lummox. Raise your head and look up.
I hope it's not to me you're talking to. That's kind of rude.
Our bond is strong.
Let's set up camp here.
Yes.
All right. Paimon also thinks it's a good spot.
Oh. Any particular reason?
This place is perfect to put up a big tent.
A big tent of all things.
We can also set up a cooking pot and cook tons of delicious food.
A very Paimon reason.
You're not wrong. But the primary reason for choosing this place is because its higher elevation keeps us away from the water vapor below. Rainforests are very wet. You should always be careful when spending the night in damp places. For the next tasks at hand, let's divide and conquer. I'll set up the tent. You'll be in charge of making the fire, and Paimon will forage for edibles nearby.
Leave it to Paimon. Paimon's a pro.
Paimon is a pro at eating.
I'm not
She-
expecting that much. Just do what you can.
You hear that, Paimon? No trust in you.
That's right. You can use rushes to start a fire in the wilderness. Their piths are relatively dry and can be readily set aflame. The downside is that they produce a lot of smoke.
Traveler, Tainari, Paimon couldn't find any food.
Oh, Paimon.
Paimon didn't know that rainforest had so many interesting plants until we came here. There were all sort of weird-looking mushrooms, but Paimon didn't know which ones were edible.
At least she didn't take someone that
Also
wasn't
saw wild
edible.
berries on the ground, and Paimon was gonna fly over and pick them up, but the dead leaves on top suddenly started moving. It freaked Paimon out.
Those were probably dead leaf butterflies. They camouflage as dead leaves to evade predators. My guess is that they
smart.
mistook you for a bird when you flew over, so they fled. Little did they know that you were more scared than they were. Never mind. The tent's up, so you two go rest. I'll forage for food.
Ah, he helped us.
You found some already.
It's more useful. It's more useful than Paimon.
Sorry. No part this time. That task wasn't important enough. If every little thing resulted in a reward, then it might start to take advantage of the system. I'll note little things like this, and give a cumulative reward at a later time.
Are you running low on parts?
That is one reason.
It looks really sad.
After some further thought, it might come up with some weird misunderstanding if I don't give it something. All right, here's another for you. I'm off to prepare dinner. We'll take shifts on lookout duty tonight. You two can sleep first. I'll wake you up later.
We need lookouts?
Yes. Even though most animals fled because of the ley lines, we can't completely let down our guard.
I am ready. I have my karate moves. Hey
I'll set up some pest repelling devices so
That's a bad
poisonous
joke.
insects don't
But
come
I like it.
crawling into the tent. Have a good night. Not too good though.
Thanks. You kinda confused me, man. But cool. Cool.
Paimon's getting sleepy. Is this because of the ley lines?
Probably.
It's been a while since we camped outside like this.
It's kinda nice.
This is like when we just started adventuring together. Nighty-night.
Nighty-night, Paimon. May the bird box not bite. I don't know why I need to try to sound evil.
You're awake earlier than I expected. Did you sleep well?
Very well.
That's good. I was worried that you two wouldn't be able to sleep, so I used 2 of my homemade incenses. Don't worry. They're made from all natural ingredients. They have a light fragrance and aren't harmful to the body. Speaking of which, have you seen the crab?
I thought that was the
It was
reason why you
scampering
wanted to
around
look
over
up.
there just now, but I don't know where it went.
Are you wary of
So
it?
you can tell. My suspicion is less towards the crab and more directed to its unrevealed owner. A ley line effluence of this magnitude occurred without any warning. Someone probably disrupted the natural flow of the ley lines. Until we
so
fully
true.
understand the situation, take extra caution. The academia has banned mechanical lifeform research for years, so the origin of these creatures is very suspect.
Banned research.
Topics related to mechanical life forms were popular in the Sponta mod for a time. Some of my juniors had also thrown themselves into such research. They proposed an intriguing idea. Use our knowledge to create a new and practical life form that could help humanity conquer nature. However, no matter which modules or parts are installed, a machine is innately a construct that receives and executes commands. They can never possess self-awareness like us or other living organisms. In their pursuit to discover the differences between mechanical and biological life forms, zealous researchers performed unregulated vivisections and other absurdly cruel experiments on animals. Research on mechanical life forms was thus banned. The irony is that the researchers became even more impetuous afterward. Who knows? Maybe the subject will be unbanned in a few years.
Do you not like this area of research?
That's a difficult question to answer. I am interested in the topic of mechanical life, but I don't like the researchers' attitudes.
Because of the conquest of nature is bad?
It's just my personal opinion. My ancestors and the Veluca Shuna of the desert coexisted together and supported one another. The bloodline of my people was born from this symbiotic relationship. So to me, all life is important. To understand life, you must first respect it. Life is not an expendable commodity, and knowledge should not be wielded like a scepter. These are the points of contention I have with some researchers, and why I left the academia. Once you start placing yourself above other life forms, I mean, what kind of results do you expect to get from researching pure life with impure intentions?
I understand what you mean.
Really? Well, I'm glad to hear it.
Aw, the crab is looking cute again.
Coffee? Did you prepare this for us?
It looks like it won the reward again.
All right. Seeing that you're working so hard to help out, I'll give you another part. You're not planning on using it? Many of your own parts are critically degraded, and you're running low on power. All right. Suit yourself. Oh, and thanks for the coffee, but I'm about to go to sleep. Leave it with her.
Oh no, coffee. I don't drink
yours.
coffee.
Stay safe.
I don't need the coffee. Get me a tea. But tea you can almost make everywhere. You just need to find some leaf or flower you can make into tea and dry them up. Oh, well.
Sorry. Paimon slept through the entire night.
The entire night? I don't want to as like what like has a punishment as solo watch duty. I don't think she will be that good. It's okay.
You're not mad? Don't worry. Paimon will be sure to stay awake next time.
Good morning, Traveler and Paimon. A quick question. Do you feel off at all?
I'm a little
Me
dizzy.
too.
Melly went
The
to
farther
England
in we
just to
go,
get addicted
the
to
closer we
tea.
get to the source
I
of the
already,
ley line
I
of
actually
things.
don't think I'm
We'll be
most
heading out
addicted to
earlier
tea.
today.
I think my friend
I'll take down the
Kita,
tent and
one of my
to
other friend Alex is
there
way
something
more
we can
addicted to that than me.
extinguish our fire.
And I
so
like
we
tea
don't set
before
the
that.
entire forest aflame.
I hate coffee
Also,
though.
retrieve the pest
With
repellent
a
devices from
compassion.
last night. We don't want to affect the ecosystem here.
Got it. Paimon will take care of the fire.
I retrieved the pest repelling devices.
All right, let's meet back here.
I
later.
remember, like one of my teachers were like getting close with his like mouth around my face. Like his face was pretty close when he fought people, and you could just smell like everything. Like it was so horrible, like his coffee breath. I did not like that. No enjoy. Addicted Millie using excuses. That is not an excuse. Why is that a compelling thing? No, no cooking, no cooking. I want to collect, man.
All right, it's about time to head out. As we go further in, we may encounter more berserk machines. The effects of the ley lines will also increase.
Oh.
If you're struggling, it would be wise to avoid conflict.
I'm ready to fight.
Try to conserve as much energy as possible until we reach the source of the
Yes, sir.
contamination.
Let's go. Boom.
As I thought, the closer we get to the contamination source, the more mechanical monsters that appear.
Everyone hold hands.
Don't watch me, please. Ah, that is shooting kinda in the wrong way.
Hey.
I somehow don't get electrocuted. That's nice.
This way, Turtle. Let's sweeten the deal. Watch.
Stop right there! Out of my way!
Commit it to memory.
Oh, there's another one. I see that you're using the cookie. Yes, we need more cookie, right? We can't have you having no cook. Oh, I found a way. Hello. Hello.
Here.
Upon
Oh, I
closer
don't need more
inspection,
Hungarian
the
type
plants
of
here are
cookie.
really different. Leyline energies
But
are
that's the
also
best
stronger
type
here.
in my TV.
This may be
Let's
the
be
place
honest.
we've been looking
Honest.
for.
Honey.
Ready
What
yourselves?
the fuck was that
We're
word?
going
Like
in.
honey. Honey, honey, honey. Let's get funny. Yeah. That's now the new song. Let's go in. Yeah! Do you need everything? Because I don't really want it. It should be fine. Probably for you, not for me. Nah. With my TV. Especially for you. Let's be honest. Let's be real.
Keep up.
Be in. Let's
There's
go.
a ton of mechanical monsters here. They made this place their lair.
Looks like there's no way to sneak by. Let's take care of them quickly.
Please no. Please yes.
Keep up.
Lightning, sure thought. Grow. I see everything. Yeah.
Oh, I went into. I just walked into nothing. Great. That's how you do greatness. Okay, ready to fight. Hiya! I never seen a machine like this before.
Leyline energy is spilling out from here. This device.
Why did this game have a lolly
It's
in it?
Extracting energy from
Because
the
you
ley
need
lines
to
without
have
end.
every option.
Who in the world would do this without considering the consequences?
I guess.
The ley lines won't be able to
But
repair
she's
themselves
more
if their
old than
flow is
you ever
perpetually
would think.
disrupted like this.
That's terrible. We have to stop it. Oh, Paimon,
Oh, Paimon.
Paimon doesn't see controls anywhere.
I'm starting to get dizzy.
Standing here is equivalent to being directly showered in leyline energy, which may cause
Yes,
irreversible damage
several
to the body.
lollies, indeed.
Take
But we
Paimon
did
with
not.
you.
We try not to
I'll
talk
see if we
about
can find a
those,
way to
you
turn
know.
this thing off.
You're also vulnerable to the ley lines, right? We're staying. We can't leave you here by yourself.
Then let's look for it
Technically
together.
chibi.
If there's no
But
control
yeah,
unit
yeah,
here,
they are
then
called chibi.
there must be a trap door somewhere.
Chibi. They are so cute. Let me just call my lolly lover friend. Excuse me. What?
Hey, wait for us.
Yeah. Show that sauce, Kira. We need more sauciness of this. Bombastic side eyes. How do you make a bombastic side eyes?
It'll only show
Oh,
up if you step on it.
Be careful and watch your step.
Is he sick?
Someone's here. Are you the one that's taking the ley lines energy? Turn off that machine now. Why aren't you saying anything? Too ashamed?
His body is cold. It's emaciated, and his eyes are sunken, likely from chronic malnourishment and stress. He collapsed and never got back up. What exactly happened here? Almost forgot about you. Here. This is the last one.
The emergency food got angry. What? No, we don't sacrifice the payment. It is my emergency
Sure.
food.
Judging by this room's layout, this place was a laboratory. We should find a repository of research documents if we keep going. The file room will definitely
No,
give us
it
some
is not
clues,
yours.
so let's go take a look. Maybe we can piece together what happened here.
Wow. It's huge in here.
Not mine,
This
but
place
ours.
is
Nope,
very secluded.
just mine.
It's a natural hiding spot.
Did you two find anything?
There are a lot of lab notes, but it would take way too long to read through them all. I found a tape recording used for
Way
an
too long.
experiment, and based on its serial number, it's from 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Tape recording?
Yes. The Spontamod created a device that visually records experiments and consolidates the final production into a tape. However, these devices are expensive to make and aren't entirely stable. That's why they are only used in some laboratories and do not see wider usage.
Jaha.
Let's watch it.
Hold on, let me figure out how to play the tape. Okay, this should do it.
Kakata? Kakata? Seriously, I look away for 1 second and you're gone?
Gone with the wind. Oh, that's
There
Kakata.
you are. Look here. This is our new home. I, Abatui, will unleash my talents here and amaze those ancient fossils at the Academia. Oh, you're also quite happy. Kakata, do you know what we're about to do?
Nope.
Yes, I thought not. Listen up, Kakata. I'm going to make a mechanical life form that can be mass-produced. The technology will be unlike anything else that exists. I'll use mechanical organs, and electric currents will course through them like blood. A steel cast heart that will beat forever,
That
and a
sounds
brain
kinda-
with myriad components that can think like mine. Inspiration from the ruins and the research that the Academia had banned. I hope everything can start anew from this place.
Cheers for that.
When you can understand our language and live among us, you will no longer be a boring machine, but a truly living being. It's fine. You will understand. One day, you will understand me.
Aww. It's his friend. That's kinda
Kakata
cute.
is the mechanical crab, right? And that researcher named Abatui said he wanted to prove something to the Academia?
Banned research.
I remember now. I had a junior researcher named Abatui. He was expelled from the Academia for researching mechanical life forms.
Junior researcher?
Junior researcher?
Yeah? What's wrong?
Nothing. Paimon was just wondering, doesn't Abatui look older than
Ooh.
He is, but academic progression isn't tied to age. I finished my studies a while ago, so subsequent students generally considered me as their senior.
Oh.
Of course, age can be an issue. For a while, people, always dragged me into pictures. I felt like some kind of animal on display. That isn't important. Let's go and see if we can find other tape recordings.
Yes.
The pipes continue further. Let's head in.
Look! Paimon found another tape! A date is written on it. Let Paimon see. It's from a half a year ago!
That's quite the time gap. I wonder what happened in between.
It's rare that you malfunction because of an operational error. Seems that making coffee is still somewhat difficult for you. Or is there an issue with my set parameters? All right, there you go. Water entered the chela and caused it to short circuit, so it couldn't receive signals from the ganglion. Look at me, talking to you like this. You can't understand me anyway, can you? It's fine. I swapped in some new parts, so you should be all right now. Try moving around. Everything in working order? Be more careful next time. We're tight on money right now, so we don't have a lot of parts or power to spare. I'm glad. Karkata, did you know? Yesterday, I dreamed that you could talk.
Aww. You just want a friend.
Aren't the bunch at the Academia always saying things like, mechanical intelligence is just an extension of statistics? They were blown away when they saw us talking with each other. Too bad it was just a dream. Forget holding a conversation with me. You're so simple that you probably wouldn't even notice if I died.
Aww.
Never mind. I should probably be worrying about next month's power.
After Abatui left the academia, everyone lost contact with him. I thought he was so despondent that he gave up on researching mechanical life forms. Instead, he had holed up here and continued his experiments.
Paimon doesn't feel like he's a bad person. He even changed out Karkata's broken parts. Why would he mess with ley lines?
He mentioned something about power.
Let's keep looking around.
Oh shit. I was almost stuck there, I think. Eee.
Following the serial numbers, the next recording should be here. The writing is sloppy. Perhaps his state of mind had changed. There's also an undated tape in the wrong spot. It doesn't seem like Abatui put it there.
Maybe Karkata helped him with sorting.
It's hard to say. These are the last 2 tape recordings. Let's watch them.
I'm concerned.
Sorry, Karkata. I was just thinking about something. Today might become a special day.
Oh?
In my recent experiments, I successfully gave you a living being's instincts. When you're low on power, or if one of your parts is damaged, you will prioritize your survival command and proactively recharge or replace your parts. That is a very dangerous thing. And today, I did something even more dangerous. I've officially activated the 3rd generation ley line extractor. The ley lines will serve as our power source from now on. Conducting research on mechanical life forms requires a large amount of power. Even if I scrimped and saved, the more I have wouldn't last for long. I'm also getting tired, Karkata. I don't know what's driving me to continue with this research anymore.
Oh no.
They say that even if it simulates the operation of a living creature's organs, a machine is still an ice-cold tool. I want to prove them wrong. I want to turn you into a living, breathing, and talking being. I'm not talking about anything cheerful, Karkata. Modules for language, emotion, and movement. I've been working my absolute hardest to augment and refine your functionalities, but I've never seen an effective response. You are my finest success, but even you can't understand me. All you can do is execute limited responses based on preset commands or keywords. Karkata, I wish you could speak to me, even just once.
Aww.
Yes, you cannot understand me, so you cannot answer me either. It is what it is. In a few days, I'll sell the failed ley line extractor for some more and continue my experiments. Life goes on, and I have to as well. I don't have any other choice.
Oh no.
This is new. If I place another 2 control modules here to simulate the brain's thalamus... of course my heart decides to act up now. Why did I cut medication from our expenses?
Oh god.
Karkata, come help me. Strange. I feel weak. Oh no, I have to shut down the extractor. Shut it off. If we let them recharge indefinitely, they'll go out of control.
Oh no.
Right. I never input a command to shut down the extractor, so you don't understand what I'm saying. In the end, it's just like the academia said.
Oh no.
Mechanical life forms only bring danger. My research... Was there any point to it at all?
No, don't say that.
I'm sorry, Karkata. In the end, I still wasn't able to turn you into a true mechanical life form.
I see. So, the ley line effluence was an accident. After Abatui's unexpected death, the mechanical monsters were driven by their instincts and continuously drew out power from the ley line extractor. This eventually resulted in severe damage to the ley lines.
Then Karkata.
Paimon understands. Then why didn't Karkata go haywire like the other machines?
Because Karkata is different from the other machines. To Abatui, for a machine to truly be considered a mechanical life form, it must possess features similar to any other living organism. It should be structured similarly, it must be able to cry and laugh, and it must have the capacity for independent thought. Perhaps only by building such a machine could he have the academia acknowledge his protracted research. But if he had slowed down and saw Karkata as a friend instead of as an experimental product, he would have noticed. Karkata can't speak, and yet it cares about Abatui far more than it does about itself.
What does that mean?
You'll see in a bit, but before that, we have a more urgent task at hand. First, let's find the control unit for the ley line extractor and shut it down.
Yes, sir. Let's go! Faster than lightning. We are flying high. Highly? Yeah. You get the point. Ah! That's funny.
More of this transparent flooring. It feels like a maze.
We are going the right way.
Bond is strong.
I have a belief. There's a bubble. Oh, why is a bubble? Should I be careful? Oh. Yes, I should. Yes, I should. My god. I just wanted to test something out.
Below us is the final room. The control unit is likely in there.
The way ends here. Wanna try jumping down?
Already did. We are no cowards. Bad robot.
Shazam! I see everything. The Temple of Wisdom. Committed to Mim. Our bond is strong.
One with the forest. Let's nip that in the bud. I'll bury you.
Grow. Stand with me. Out of my way. The more is fun.
And Shroud.
Hiya! You dead? Cool.
This should be the control unit. Once we turn it off, the ley line extractor should also shut down.
Fancy.
Without an external force damaging the ley lines, they should start to slowly repair themselves. Oh, but I bet you two are more worried about Karkata. Let's head back.
Let's go, Karkata! We're coming! Oh, chest. Yes, please. Karkata! We're still coming! I'm just a bit slow. That's a nice story. Aww. Oh, cute. Oh, that is gonna kind of smush him down, you know. Aww. This is too sad, man. That's not good.
Karkata has been collecting parts because it thinks doing so will fix its owner?
Karkata is unable to understand the concept of death. However, it probably remembers when Abatui replaced its parts when it malfunctioned, and how that restored it to an operational state. It's true that Karkata isn't able to think or understand many topics, but it is like a small child that imitates what adults do.
Oh, I got goosebumps about it. It's so sad.
But
that's not okay.
Its owner, no matter how hard it tries.
Yes, but the important thing is that it formed the thought of wanting to repair Abatui. Who knows how this thought came to be, but it has even suppressed the instincts that Abatui had installed. If it really is as we've predicted, this research truly will make waves in the academia. It might have been possible to achieve this with ancient technology, but no one has been able to do the same with modern tools.
Karkata? Karkata? Can you hear Paimon? Tainari says you're awesome!
It's not responding.
It reached its limit. It hasn't recharged this entire time, nor has it replaced its severely damaged parts. It's truly a miracle that it managed to hang on for so long. I'm gonna go confirm that the ley line extractor has shut down. Come with me.
Yes.
Let them be alone for a while.
Aww.
Our bond is strong.
This is too sad, honestly.
The ley line extractor has ceased operations. Traces of ley line energy are still in the atmosphere, but the effluence's source has been stopped. The purification devices will handle the rest. Moving on. Those affected by the ley lines need immediate care. We'll put up an announcement on the bulletin board about the dangers of entering the contaminated region, and for symptomatic individuals to find Kale.
Karkata?
According to the Academia's policies, we need to bring everything back. Research materials related to mechanical life forms will all be destroyed, and Karkata will be disassembled and sealed away.
What the heck?
You two should return first. I'll take care of things here.
This
Although
is
we've
sad,
stopped
man.
the source of the effluence, the ley line energy in the air exceeds normal values. Your bodies won't be able to hold up if you continue to stay here.
But...
Listen, the Traveler hasn't rested very well, right? Also, it'll take some time to pack up all the research documents. You're not familiar with this research after all, so you won't be of much use here. Tell the Adventurers Guild that the incident has been resolved, and then get some sleep. We can discuss matters tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, and don't talk about Abatui. The fewer that know about mechanical life form research, the better.
Alright. Then... let's go back to Catherine.
Yeah. This is too sad of a story. Why are there so many sad stories in this This game, my god. Right, so we did it. We did the story thing. Well, we have a lot of stars to go through, so let's check the next one. Let's take this one, I guess. Yes. Gave me a lot of money. We like money. Who doesn't like more money? More. Not me. But dang, that was really just a sad story, honestly. Like, who ends a story like that? Not approved. Not at all. Nah.
How strange. My brother's been meditating here pretty much constantly over the past few days, but now he's gone.
Meditating?
Guys, I will be right back. I need something to drink.
He suddenly started doing after defeating Domon's disciple. He just sits there alone, talking to himself. It's pretty disturbing, actually. But that's not important right now. Where the heck could he have gone in his current state?
This does pose a bit of a problem. If we can't find your brother, well, we can't perform an exorcism with nothing to exorcise, can we? Kato, whatever your name was, given the circumstances, why don't you start by going to find your brother, and also picking up a handful of salt on your way? We'll need to use it during the exorcism.
Okay. Okay, got it. I'm on it.
Miko, what about us? Shouldn't we help look for his brother too?
No need. While What's-His-Face is handling that, we'll take a walk around and ask people what they know about the two brothers. Maybe we'll find out some amusing details.
I am barely making it. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. I am running halfway. Half. I'm not really running.
The criteria for certificate exams are straightforward enough. What it really comes down to is whether you are willing to put in the time. If you study and practice, then it's really not all that difficult.
Oh well. I am happy that I didn't drown.
Hello, sir. We'd like to ask you about the Kato brothers.
Oh, are you debt collectors?
Nope.
Yohei said to tell you not to worry. He'll be able to pay you back as soon as he has enrolled a few disciples.
Huh? Debt collectors? No, we're not here for anything like that. But, it sounds like Yohei and Shingo have gotten themselves into a bit of a pickle.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yes. I don't think there's any disputing that. Those two don't have an ounce of dedication between them. They just hop between ideas and won't stick to anything.
Huh? But Yohei said his brother has always wanted to become a sword master, and even asked Domon to be his sensei.
That's true, yes. Shingo begged Domon to take him on, and eventually, he finally relented. But even after convincing a renowned sensei to give him a chance, he was the same as ever, bumming around in class instead of focusing on his training. In the end, Domon had had enough and kicked him out. But Shingo was resentful about it. He blamed Domon for not seeing his potential, and even declared that he would challenge a disciple of Domon to a duel.
Wait,
Da-da-da.
that's not what we heard.
Oh, how interesting. We heard a slightly different version. My brother wasn't about to resign himself to defeat. He trained every day as hard as he could and finally proved himself by defeating one of Domon's best disciples in a duel recently.
Yohei said that? That Shingo trained hard. That's ridiculous. He just lay there cussing to high heaven all day, every day. Some training regimen, that is. Yohei did tell me about Shingo winning the fight, but I took it with a grain of salt. You can ask Kenji at the village entrance more about that. He always has reliable information.
Hey there! We've come to ask you about the Kato brothers.
Oh, you mean Shingo and Yohei?
Yeah, we heard that Shingo defeated an apprentice of Domon's recently. Is that true?
Yes, it's true. Oh, wait, so are you here because you heard they're starting their own school and you're looking to sign up?
We're not here to sign up, but we would like to hear more details about the fight.
Well, you've come to the right person. I actually went to watch it.
Okay,
I thought
keep
it was
going.
a joke when I first heard that Shingo was going to challenge a disciple of the Meikyo Shisui art. But when he drew his sword, he became a whole different person. The way he handled his blade, it was like flowing water, mesmerizing to watch. Domon's disciple is no pushover, but he was absolutely no match for Shingo.
Shingo really that strong?
Yep, he seemed pretty euphoric after winning the duel too. He was celebrating very vocally, saying something like, "What a duel. I haven't felt this good in a long time."
Any other details to share? We've heard that Shingo has been behaving rather out of character since then.
I'd definitely say that he has more energy than he used to. In the past, he never used to do much except lie around sunbathing all day. But just yesterday, for example, I saw him cutting down trees for the village head. In the space of one afternoon, he did what most people couldn't finish in 3 days. Not only that, but he managed to fell a lavender melon tree with just one kick.
Quite impressive.
Things got weird after that, though. The village head brought out some tofu for him, and he just flipped out. He shouted, "What is that stuff? Keep that away from me!" and then ran off.
Lady Guji, esteemed exorcists. Finally, I found you. I found my brother. He's at the waterfall, and I've got the salt you asked for, too. Come on, let's go!
Oh, as much as I'd prefer to stay and hear some more delicious details, I suppose we'd better be going now that he's been found.
Let's jump. Ooh. Oh, mint. Da-da-da-da. Will we die? Nope. And now. Boom. Lower down? Oh, okay.
Look, look over there. That's him at the waterfall.
Yeah, fuck off. I need to focus there.
This is Yohei's brother. Whoa. He's meditating while sitting in a waterfall. That's pretty wild.
Is that?
Listen. He's talking to himself.
Woo! How's that? Can you feel it? Can you feel the feeling of manliness? Found your own school.
I don't know if this is manliness.
So shallow. How can a manly man aspire to something so lame? Please Spare me! Spare me! I can't feel the manliness. I can't even feel the cold anymore. I can't take any more. I'm gonna die. Yohei! Yohei! Save me! Save me!
Did you hear that?
Interesting.
Well, the nonsense aside, he's calling for help.
Huh? Who goes there?
No one.
And now he's coming this way.
No, don't come any closer. Help!
What do we do? Miko, think of something!
Oh, poor thing. Yohei, your brother's life is hanging in the balance, and he's using his final breaths to call on you for help. Whatever shall we do?
Well, how should I know?
The way it looks to me is that Shingo feels terribly resentful to you about something.
Oh?
Would you mind telling me what that's all about?
I don't know what to tell you. I don't know.
You really don't know?
Don't know. But surely you should have more insight than anyone else into how your brother came to be this way. Yohei, I suggest you think very carefully before you open your mouth again. This is a life or death situation. Your brother is your closest relative. You must have noticed straight away when he started acting out of character. And yet, 5 whole days pass before it occurs to you to come and seek help from me. You really expect me not to notice the gaping holes in your story?
Ooh.
But
As you wish. It's fine by me if you don't want to tell the truth. But after Shingo dies, you'll be next. It's futile trying to escape. Anywhere in the world you run to, it will be right behind your back. After all, you did summon it together.
All right, I'll talk. I'll tell you everything. My brother and I used a wishing incantation. We made a wish.
Made a wish?
Yes, that's it. The one that's all the rage right now. You just have to recite an incantation at midnight and your wish will be granted. Just like the book described, we drew the magic symbol, stepped inside it barefoot at midnight, said the incantation, and lo and behold, spheres of light appeared all around us. After my brother wished to become a swordmaster, it really worked. Out of nowhere, he suddenly had these amazing sword skills, but his whole personality changed too.
Why didn't you seek help right away?
Because I was worried that if he goes back to normal, he'll lose his skills with the sword. If that happens, it'd ruin our plans to start a martial arts school, and we'd be back to being poor. I just wanted to keep this under wraps until we'd managed to get the dojo set up and paid off our debts.
So then, why'd you go to the Grand Narukami Shrine?
Well, 'cause with the way he's acting now, I was worried that rumors might start spreading that he's gotten involved in the occult arts or something, and then no one would want to sign up as his disciple. So I was thinking that maybe Lady Guji might have a way to get my brother back to normal, but let him keep his sword skills?
No.
My, look at you with your ingenious schemes. Stop deluding yourself. These newfound sword skills are not his. They belong to the spirit that has possessed him.
Yep.
You're right. We were wrong to do what we did. We had this coming.
All right, then. Your turn now, my little friend. Toss the salt, and then draw your sword.
Why the salt part? Interesting.
What is that?
My doom.
It's the spirit!
See that? That's what you summoned. And look, now that Shingo's no use, it's coming straight for you.
Save me! Save me!
No.
Miko, he fainted! What do we do now?
He fainted? Damn.
We do nothing. But you, little one, just a quick fight and this will all be over.
Who's this? Ah, a fellow swordmaster.
Nice to meet you.
Fight me!
He's coming! Be careful!
Well, I better be ready to fight. Haha!
Watch this! Hey!
I don't need you to go close. But we can do it your way.
That was great! Excellent! Woo! What a rush!
Glad you're happy about it.
I haven't felt this great in a long, long time.
He disappeared! But he looked pretty content at the end there. Huh. Well, Paimon sure is confused. Do you know what that was all about?
I have a rough idea.
We can talk about it later. They're about to wake up.
What am I doing here? Yohei? Yohei, is that you?
Shingo, are you alright?
Yohei, I had the weirdest dream. I dreamed that I wasn't a useless loser with a sword anymore. I even beat one of Domon's disciples. I thought we could finally open a dojo of our own now. But then I realized I couldn't control my own body. And there was this voice in my ear talking to me constantly. I was terrified and I wanted to take control of my body back, but I couldn't. And the voice kept talking about manliness.
Shingo, we shouldn't have made that wish. We summoned a spirit and it possessed you.
Yes, and had we not come to your rescue, your life would have been over before too much longer. Then the spirit would have haunted your brother until he died of fatigue too.
You heard him.
Thank you, Lady Guji. And thank you for your assistance, exorcism experts.
All right, take him to get some rest. He's very weak right now, having been possessed for quite a few days. He will experience a high fever, but it won't be fatal. Remember, this is the price you pay. At this point, I would normally lecture you on the dire consequences of using occult methods to obtain power that does not belong to you.
You're here.
But I think you get the picture now, don't you?
Yes, we understand now. We won't do it ever again.
Thank you, Lady Guji. Thank you, exorcists. We'll be on our way then. Come on, Shingo.
Miko, would they really have lost their lives if we hadn't gotten involved? And if so, why the heck were you so reluctant to help out?
Because they needed to learn a lesson.
They would have been fine. I had to scare them a little, though. Otherwise, I hardly think these two lazy rascals would have learned their lesson.
Yeah.
So, what was it that possessed Shingo?
You saw it all for yourselves. I'm sure you can figure out what kind of spirit had possessed him, can't you?
A master, lots of strength and passion, but doesn't like to...
Paimon's got it. It was an Oni.
An Oni?
Correct. Although it possessed Shingo, it didn't have any ill intentions. As a matter of fact, it actually seemed like it was trying to train Shingo to become bolder.
Ah.
Fair enough. But it seems like it had the opposite effect.
Tossing salt caused it to temporarily leave Shingo's body. Then, you exhausted its strength by fighting it, so it disappeared. Even if we'd done nothing at all, Shingo would have eventually become too weak for his body to host the spirit, and it would have left of its own accord. Of course, it would have been more stressful for Shingo and Yohei that way. Still, the experience may ultimately have been more effective than me scaring them into submission with a little exaggeration.
Whew. Well, the main thing is that nobody got hurt.
Except my...
All right, seems like we've wrapped up everything here. Come on, off we go.
Okay. We are
Hold on,
going.
Miko. You say everything's wrapped up. But are you sure about that?
You mean you disagree?
The incantation they used.
Oh, you mean that they got the incantation from that book? Yes, I know the one.
Actually, that book's the whole reason we came looking for you at the shrine today. Incantations seem really popular right now.
Human beings don't have powers like us yokai. It's quite understandable for them to be interested in incantations to summon the supernatural.
That's not the point. The problem is that the incantations in the book are actually capable of summoning spirits and stuff. And loads of people are trying it.
Even then, humans only have so much strength. Even if they do successfully summon a spirit with the incantation, it won't stay with them for very long. I really wouldn't fret about it.
Dang.
But who wrote this book? And why? Don't we think there might be a bigger safety risk here? What do you think, Traveler?
It does worry me a bit.
Yeah, Yui and Shingo may have been fine in the end, but things got pretty scary when Shingo was possessed.
Yep.
Lady Yai, I finally found you.
Kuroda, what are you doing here?
I'm here to report on Yai Publishing House's sales for the last month. All the numbers are here. Please, take a look.
Let me see. What? We're losing market share?
Yes. Overall bestseller, readers' favorite, and trending ranking. We're being beaten in all categories.
Dang.
One book is topping the charts. It's called A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits.
Both of you, back here now.
He does want to get rid of it, so she has no competition.
Really scary look on your face right now.
Things just got serious. A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits is an all-round hit, summarily beating the novels of the Yai Publishing House by every analysis.
Define serious.
Just what is that supposed to mean? I worked extremely hard to promote our latest featured work, and now a rival book comes out of nowhere and steals our thunder. If this isn't the very definition of intolerable, I don't know what is. I have to come up with a counterplan, and you are going to help me.
Oh?
Huh? How is this our problem all of a sudden?
It just is.
Paimon, please. Who wrote this book and why? Don't we think there might be a bigger safety risk here? Oh, am I to take it that the safety of the people of Inazuma isn't so important in your eyes after all?
Wait, what just happened? Again, you technically have a point, but this feels all wrong.
Nothing's wrong, okay? Come on. We're going to war.
Jesus
I'm going
Christ.
to head back and make some preparations. Meet me outside the Yai Publishing House.
Yeah. She's just using us, honestly. Like, we can't do anything with her, honestly. Never expected this result, you know? Nah.
Yeah. Alright, Nico. We're here. So what's your plan of action to deal with this rival book?
Why don't you take a guess? I'll give you a hint. It's to do with the Yai Publishing House.
Oh, Paimon knows! Combine the reputation of the Yai Publishing House with the status of Guji Yai and tell everyone that the incantations in that book are dangerous!
Oh, wow. Your first guess and you got it absolutely...
Wrong.
wrong.
Oof. That look at her, like she was just so disappointed.
Wait! Seriously? That wasn't it?
A first-hand guide to summoning spirits is the hottest light novel right now. If we did as you suggested, we would effectively be advertising to everyone that the incantations are real. In bending over backwards trying to warn everyone about the dangers, all we would accomplish is to create more curious readers ready to try them out. Also, sales for the book would only increase further.
Okay, yeah, that would be pretty catastrophic. Oh, how about we confiscate all the copies?
Leaving aside the issue of the enormous manpower and resources such an operation would require, going to such lengths over a light novel would be extremely disruptive to the lives of Inazumans.
But that means there's nothing we can do.
Well, I've been thinking. I've read a first-hand guide to summoning spirits. It has many other good qualities besides the incantations alone. The book contains many ancient kaidan, or tales of the supernatural, and is written in a very engaging way. That is why the book has become so popular. I think we're going to have a difficult time trying to rein in its popularity while it's the only work in its league on the market.
Wait, so you mean...
That's right. How do you get rid of the next big thing? You replace it with the next big thing. So what we're going to do is create Inazuma's newest hit novel.
And how do you do that?
Smash our rival's sales numbers and win our readers back. That is how Yae Miko wages war. Incidentally, this will also be the best way to combat the influence of a first-hand guide to summoning spirits.
Wait, Miko, so you want us to write a novel?
I never written a novel before.
Well, becoming an accomplished novelist certainly isn't an overnight process. But let's not forget that I am the chief editor of the Yae Publishing House. I have my ways. I did say this is what we're going to do. I trust that the word teamwork is in your vocabulary. Anyway, there is a writer's submission event going on at the moment. Start by talking to readers and finding out what they're into. When you have an idea of what the current trends are, come back and see me. I'll be at Uyu Restaurant. Find me there when you're done. I will assemble a team, and we can work while we eat.
Okay. Time to have a night date with Miko?
The Yae Publishing House has held many writer submission events to date. The winner gets a huge amount of publicity. It's been the ticket to fame for a lot of authors. If you've got a good idea for a story, you definitely don't want to miss out.
And it's in full swing. Unleash your talent, become one light novelist to rule them all.
I've been reading light novels for a long time now. I'm mainly into big, ambitious fantasy works with an original core concept and good storytelling. These days, though, everyone seems to be imitating each other. Most of the time, I can guess what the story is about just from the title. The only recent book worth mentioning is A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits. Not only is it a good story, but the descriptions are really true to life. So much so that I'm almost wondering if maybe the author really has met all those yokai before.
Yaha.
The key to a successful light novel is having good illustrations. When to use illustrations, what they should contain, and which artist you should commission for them. These are all key things to bear in mind. Good illustrations can make up for bad writing. But on the flip side, a bad illustration can ruin your novel, even if you have the best story in the world.
Dang.
There's a saying that light novels are essentially a case of buy art, get words free. I'd agree with that. Too bad most of the top artists have jam-packed schedules, so it's extremely difficult to commission them. The illustrations in A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits are incredible, but it's unlike any art style I've ever seen before.
It's the last one. Oh, what a...
I'll be honest, I read light novels for the cheap thrills. In most traditional stories, the protagonist usually has this long and drawn-out character arc, usually involving a process of separation, loss, and ultimately growth and renewed strength.
That is common.
It reads well and everything. It's just a little slow-paced for me. By contrast, there's this popular light novel at the moment called A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits, where the protagonist is super strong right from the get-go. That's what I mean by cheap thrills. Action-packed right from page 1.
Page 1.
The protagonist is a kitsune who has not only mastered the secret art of incantations, but also tea ceremony, painting, and calligraphy.
That sounds like Miko.
There's much more to light novels than Paimon realized. Let's go tell...
That's a long walk. Okay. Let's use some legs. We need the legs of the days. Maha. Walking on sunshine. I think I need to get into the house. Yeah. There we go.
There you are. Let me introduce the team. You've already met Junkichi and Shigeru. Shigeru is an experienced editor, and Junkichi is the author he's partnered with. Junkichi's working through a creative lull at the moment, but all his past works have been very popular with young people. He's developed a distinct and enduringly popular style. Satomi is Yae Publishing House's ace in the hole. Her specialty is that she can write all kinds of completely different stories and all under different pen names. As for what those names are, well, that's a trade secret.
Damn.
They will be teaming up with us to collectively create the novel that knocks a first-hand guide to summoning spirits off its perch. So, feeling better about my plan now?
Sure.
It definitely makes sense.
Now then, tell me what you found out about readers' preferences. All very true. An original core concept, a fast pace, quality illustrations, and lots of action. This is the formula that will guarantee good sales numbers. More importantly than that, even though it's a work of fiction, we have to deliver a sense of realism.
Paimon followed pretty much all of that, but there's still one question. What are we actually gonna write about? For example, we know we need an original core concept, but how do we come up with one?
Before you can answer that question, you have to understand your target audience. Take a first-hand guide to summoning spirits, for example. When I read it, all I find is common knowledge to the kitsune. But to the general public, it's bursting with new and interesting ideas. It all comes down to the size of the information gap between author and reader. As a traveler, there must be a great many things you know that are complete unknowns to the people of Inazuma. What is commonplace to you may be fresh and original to them.
Oh, right! So maybe we can take inspiration from our time in Mondstadt and Lille. But that would make it a completely different genre than a first-hand guide to summoning spirits. Is that gonna be a problem?
Not at all. You don't have to worry so much about how to compete with that book. All you have to do is provide some interesting ideas based on your travel experiences. As long as the core content is interesting, my expert team here will be able to flesh out the details.
Alright, let's start with Chapter 1 then. What are you thinking?
The Workshop Bar, The Dragon and the Grand Adventure. Reincarnating in another world, encountering with airborne emergency ration.
No one would ever go for that, no matter how you tried to play it.
Out of a maximum of 10 points, I'd give that a 9. Is there really flying emergency food in other worlds? How does it taste? And how do you cook it?
Oh my god!
It's a strong opening. An easy way to grab the reader's attention. Never underestimate the appeal of culinary-oriented subject matter. Food, after all, is a topic that everyone is interested in. Good job, little one. You're not only drawing on your own experiences, but it seems you're filtering them through the lens of the kinds of light novels you've read in the past. I think you really understand what we're trying to do here. Thoughts from the experts? Are we able to work with this general framework to make an interesting story?
Yeah, we think it works. I tend to overcomplicate the core concept if I'm not careful, so this deals with that problem.
That's good. Okay, we're done with chapter 1. Let's move on to chapter 2.
Okay. I can do that. I can handle this.
Won't that do for now?
Readers will devour your content a lot more quickly than you'd think. If we don't keep delivering the goods now we've caught their attention, all our hard work so far is in vain. Hurry, chapter 2, let's go. Can't you see that Satomi is waiting?
Huh? What's wrong with you? You don't look so good.
My mind is gone blank.
What a pity. I thought your beginner's luck would carry you a little further before it came to this. But alas, the time has come prematurely.
Before it came to what? What's happened?
The bane of our existence. Writer's block. It's your arch nemesis for life, appearing without warning and inflicting a pain worse than death upon the writer. They sell their souls just to get their muse back.
Sounds awful!
When this happens, the best thing you can do is have a bite to eat and take a proper break. Boss, get me a plate of fried tofu, and get some kushikatsu for these two. Just the basic kind will do.
Hey, you don't even get the great good.
Don't worry, this is my treat.
Your treat? Oh, wait a minute. Miko, we'll be getting paid for all the hard work we're doing, right?
Of course, everyone that takes part in the creative process will be paid.
Oh yeah!
All right,
money, money, money.
Let's press on, shall we? Don't give up now. For the sake of our paycheck, get your brain going!
Paycheck, speaking of Mara.
Oh, does this mean your inspirations come back?
I turned into a gun shop hatchling. I like that name.
The protagonist awakes to find themselves turned into a geovicious hatchling, surrounded by countless adventurers. But then, the protagonist suddenly discovers that they have a special ability. Keep rolling to keep evolving! So the protagonist rolled and rolled and rolled, hoping to evolve into the strongest geo creature ever. So, the protagonist is no longer a human, huh? Good luck retconning that after chapter 1.
I give it a 9.5. Monster evolution is an increasingly common theme these days. What started out as a rather niche genre has gradually worked its way into the mainstream. And I wouldn't worry about the continuity issue. All we have to do is explain at the beginning of the work that the protagonist can travel between different worlds, or just explain it away as a dream.
Ugh, no integrity whatsoever.
The most important thing is that it's fun. In light novels, as in life, having fun is the most important thing. Wouldn't you agree?
You do kinda have a point.
Great. Well, now Satomi can get started on that.
Leave it to me, Lady Yae.
Let's write about Inazuma in the 3rd chapter, shall we? I can help with this one. We can use the Vision Hunt Decree or your experience in the Resistance. Any ideas?
Stop this, come on, let's get rid of this Vision Hunt. Starting as a Resistance soldier.
When the Vision Hunt Decree comes out of nowhere, the protagonist joins the Resistance, starting out as an ordinary rank-and-file soldier. Find out how the protagonist goes on to make great contributions to the war effort, become best friends with the Resistance General, and get to know the Guji of the Grand Narukami Shrine.
Oh yeah.
Together with everyone to finally secure a grand victory
so
for the
cold.
Resistance.
I am myself cold.
It's surprisingly normal.
Thank you.
I think it's rather good. A lot of people still like the classic hero's journey. From ordinary soldier to great leader, a fresh take on a timeless classic. One thing though, we'll need to rewrite the part about me giving you the omamori. Let's change it to... The mysterious Lady Kitsune teaches the protagonist a spell that can make their wishes come true. The protagonist uses this spell to defeat the Raiden Shogun in battle. That should do the trick.
Whoa. So we're really going head to head with our rival on this one, huh?
Yep.
I suppose so. Once they're done writing the manuscript, I'll write the passage where the protagonist recites the incantation myself.
Are we done then? Do you really think this will be able to beat a first-hand guide to summoning spirits?
The content is fine. Now we just need to promote it. I will contact an artist to make some illustrations. I'm positive they will be at least as good as those in A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits. We'll also need an endorsement on a paper band around the book.
Oh.
I can get the wonderful Ms. Hina to write that.
Miss Hina!
She runs a regular Q&A column in That's Life magazine. The people of Inazuma absolutely adore her.
Yeah.
You're free to take a break while the creative team is doing their work, but please go by the Yai Publishing House at some point to commission Ms. Hina for that recommendation. Once our light novel is complete, let's meet at the writer's submission event.
Yes, ma'am. I know about Miss Hina because my friend have asked if we should cosplay Miss Hina and together. But I'm not gonna say anymore. Excuse me. Passing through. Hello.
Miss Hina doesn't usually do endorsements, but since it's Lady Guji that's asking, we'll see what we can do. With Miss Hina getting so popular lately, a lot of people have come to us hoping to do a collaboration. But Miss Hina's not interested in any of it. She still prefers to focus all her efforts on replying to reader. Maybe that's why her fans like her so much. I'm getting off topic here. Anyway, if we can get that endorsement from Miss Hina, you'll definitely get an exposure boost at the beginning. May your light novel sell well and set a new record for the Yai Publishing House.
We'll do our best.
Shogun must have her reasons.
We have something to submit.
Are you sure you'd like to submit this entry? Let me see. The Miraculous Adventures of the Traveler by Thousand Hands.
What a strange pen name. Definitely your doing. Having been around you so much recently, Paimon's slowly starting to understand your unique tastes.
What do you mean, strange? It took a lot of work by a lot of different people to get this thing finished. Don't you think it's a very descriptive pen name?
We'll get this printed as a matter of priority and conduct trial sales in pilot locations throughout Inazuma. I'll announce the sales numbers in 3 days.
Awesome.
Uh-oh. Paimon's getting a little nervous now. Do you really think this is gonna work?
We had a top-notch team.
That's right. Be confident in your work. That's exactly how a light novelist should be.
Okay, then I'll sign you up. Please come back in 3 days for the results. Thank you all for your submission. I wish you the very best of luck.
Thank you. You too. You must have a lovely day, I guess. Wow. Okay, we are waiting 3 days. 1, 2. I can only do 2. One more day, please. Yay! I found the thing I was missing for earlier. Oh, and I accidentally clicked the wrong place. Isn't that great?
Ah, you've all finally made it.
Yes.
Good news, everyone. I just received word that your light novel is flying off the shelves. Multiple sales locations are asking when we'll be printing more copies.
Woohoo! That's great!
This level of success is an amazing accomplishment for a new work. Most new books don't sell 30% of what you've sold. I have free copies for each of you here. Please take them. The payment will follow shortly, and I'll notify you to come and collect it when the time comes.
Okay. This is all great, but...
Yeah. The whole reason why we made this light novel was to combat the influence of a first-hand guide to summoning spirits.
Yeah.
We sold a lot of copies, but it doesn't feel like we accomplished our goal. How do we know whether it worked?
Oh, don't worry. The change is already underway. Shh. Listen to what the people around us are talking about. The conversation has already moved on, hasn't it?
Hey guys, have you heard about this latest Kaidan thing doing the rounds? You just need to recite the incantation from A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits at Midnight, and your wish will come true! Oh, that? That's a throwback. That's old news, man.
Ooh.
No one's talking about that anymore. The Secret Spells of Lady Kitsune is the new hit thing. I've already memorized all the incantations. The Secret Spells of Lady Kitsune? What's that?
You haven't read it yet? Okay, so supposedly, if you recite the spell in there on a moonless night, you'll receive protection of the Kitsune and all the other powerful yokai. They can make any of your wishes come true. I heard that the incantations in A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits have weird side effects. This one guy wished for a load of mora and got it, but then one night it all turned to leaves and he developed a high fever. They actually had to use one of the secret spells of Lady Kitsune to get rid of the discomfort.
Oh.
That proves that the incantations in this book are more potent than the ones everyone was trying before. Pretty much everyone I know is desperate to try it out. Just waiting for a moonless night.
Really?
No.
Well, I better go and prepare too.
Well, feeling less worried now?
Wow, you're right! Everyone's shifting focus!
Yep.
But what's this moonless night that they're talking about? Hyman doesn't remember that detail from the brainstorming session.
This is something that will become very important to us further down the line.
Oh?
All right. It's time to move on to the next phase of the plan.
Eh? There's a phase 2?
Of course.
Always.
Behind every book that hits the market lies an author, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If we leave him to his own devices, he might just write another guide to summoning spirits. Also, we still need to figure out what his motive for writing it was.
Exactly. That's what we need to take care of next. Fortunately, I've already managed to identify the author. He's a failed light novelist named Tomoyuki.
Oh.
But when we went to ask him about it, he had no recollection whatsoever of having written the book.
Aha. Wait, so do that mean?
Yes. This is another case of possession. Only this time, whoever possessed him actively sought him out. After his novel submission failed, he was walking aimlessly in Araumi. In frustration, he shouted out, "Please, someone, anyone, help me write a truly amazing novel." After that, he lost consciousness.
Ah, so that's what
The spirit that
happened.
wrote the book has already left him now, right? So what are we supposed to do?
Simple. It wrote a summoning incantation in the book, didn't it? So we can just use its own method to make it manifest.
So you wanna
itself.
make it one sick?
And you, my little friend, are the perfect candidate for this role.
Dang. That sounds very deep, dubious.
Oh, what are you talking about? The fun's just about to begin.
Yaha. I don't like this comment. Can I please get some help? Send help right now to that beach, please. We gonna die. We are gonna be sick. We are gonna feel very sick after this trip. Hee hee. Ooh. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, jump! Don't die. Hi. You wanna talk with me?
Miko, what is this place?
The ideal spot for a little meet and greet with a certain elusive author. This is the place where we are most likely to succeed in summoning the spirit.
Really? But it feels so eerie here.
That seems rather fitting, considering that we are dealing with the spirits of the deceased here. What are you so afraid of, honestly? We're finally about to meet the true author of a first-hand guide to summoning spirits.
I know.
Aren't you excited?
Paimon's heart is pounding, but Paimon's pretty sure it's not because of excitement.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like something good,
Come
you
on,
know.
in we go.
Hey, wait up!
My god, every single time.
Stay close by, okay?
It's okay, Paimon. We go together. It is time. Let's go. Yeah, we're just bringing this crew, but it's one of my better one. Okay, there we go. I had something in my throat.
What a weird painting. Miko, do you know what it's supposed to show?
Life choices.
Probably a scene from ancient Inazuma.
It's a good
Ancient
piece of artwork
Inazuma,
and all,
even.
but it's also kinda eerie.
Yeah.
So it's a bit scary. Looks like the artist signed their name. Rakusai?
Rakusai? That sounds
It's
interesting.
not very clear.
Let's go inside and take a look.
Okay. Oh.
Emerge. Right now. Emerge.
I see everything.
Can't see?
Everyone hold hands.
Thank you for your work. I take these. But dang it, I had a dream.
Wow, this place is huge. Hey, is that a mirror? There's a really weird-looking stool as well. Wonder what it's for.
Ah, I see. Huh. This setup is quite handy. Saves me a lot of work. All right, go and take a look around. There should be a mechanism somewhere that makes the whole room move.
One with the forest.
Whee!
This may turn a little.
Sir.
I'm seeing stars.
I'll settle this.
Committed to memory. The Temple of Wisdom.
And Shroud.
Hey, he wanted
Get
to
with
kill me.
Everyone hold hands. Shazam!
One with the forest. Keep up.
Yeah, yeah.
just like smashing everything. Oh well. I feel like I will be able to come here in a bit.
Our bond is strong. I see everything.
Come on out. Right here. Emerge.
Enshroud! Rah!
Wait, what?
You're more as fuck.
I'm confused.
Share my knowledge.
One with the forest.
Shazam!
Right here. Right now. Right here.
Enshroud! Keep up.
Nice killing. It's just my work, you know. Take me. I'm so confused. Jaha. Why couldn't I do that before? What the heck? I got scammed. Okay. Oh. I think I got it. I'm just dumb.
Whoa. It's that painting we just saw.
Oh.
It's turning this way along with the whole wall.
Very fancy.
It's getting eerier and scarier. What is this place?
Okay. Next, I will show you a secret kitsune spell. This painting is a swift summoning medium, which means I'll be able to skip many of the more tedious steps.
Okay, keep going.
The murky mirror reflects the view of Inazuma in a bygone age. Spirits stirred by the sight of the past will be easily drawn to it. You're up next, little one. Come on, sit yourself down here.
Oh, jeez. Surely you're not planning to.
The whole point of a summoning ritual is for a dead person's spirit to possess a living person's body. You saw what happened to that Oni samurai spirit. After leaving the host's body, he was only able to maintain his form for a very short time before disappearing.
Are we positive that summoning a spirit to possess the traveler isn't gonna have any lasting negative consequences?
Oh, you really care about the little one quite a lot, don't you? I'm a little
Jeez,
jealous.
Miko.
I wish my friends were caring like that. Anyway, are you scared, little friend? Don't
What?
you worry now. It'll be over soon. Just think of it like
Thanks.
having a dream.
Gee, so nice. What do I need to do?
Sit on the chair, stare at the painting, and relax your body and mind. Try and be natural. There's really no need to be nervous.
Oh, spirit, come forth, come forth.
It's like she's sitting inside the painting. Huh? Is Paimon seeing things? Did the painting just move?
Ah, yes.
Recite the incantation in your heart, little one. Also, you'll need to have some intense thoughts going through your head. A wish, for example. Now, what kind of wish do we think it would take to summon forth the author of A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits? Anyone?
Probably something to do with writing?
Very good. The wish needs to be heartfelt, though, so let me help add a little realism to the equation. The book is selling exceptionally well, Traveler, but we're going to need an outline for Chapter 4 as soon as humanly possible.
Oh god.
When is the earliest that you can turn it in by?
Help me write Chapter 4. Man, I don't need this. Oh, bullshit. Ooh. That kinda looks creepy. Hello.
I never thought the day would come when I'd be summoned using my own ritual. Getting a taste of my own medicine. What have we here? Another budding writer? What's come over you all? Why is everyone wishing for help with their writing? Are novels so popular in this day and age?
We got you! So you're the one who wrote A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits. What are you trying to do, Why'd you put that summoning incantation in the book, huh? What's your game here?
Huh? What's this? Oh, I see. No wonder this felt so familiar. I've walked right into your trap, haven't I?
Indeed.
You ask me what my game is here?
Uh-huh.
Well, of course. It was to use this incantation as a means for all the souls of the departed yokai to make their glorious return to the world and plunge all of Inazuma into a brutal, bloody war.
Ah, excuse me.
Paimon knew it! You had an evil plan all along!
Oh, did you now? Then how naive of you to let me possess this body so easily. I sense, yes, great power within her. Good. Good! With this power, no one shall be able to stand in my way!
You're kind of dumb, aren't you? If I'm that strong, I will be able to stop you.
Wake up! Quick! Wake up! We gotta
In one way or another. I'm too strong for that.
It is futile. You shall never wake her again. This body now belongs to me!
Hey! Come on, wake up! Don't let him take your mind! Miko, think of something! Miko! Miko!
No. Thanks, Miko.
You're laughing?
Oh, Rakusai, you haven't changed a bit. You caught on so quickly. Too perfect.
Well, you made the face enough times that I couldn't exactly miss the hint. This
No.
is what you were going for, yes? Never one to stand on the sidelines of a good spectacle, are you? Always got to dive in and fan the flames, huh? You mischievous little kitsune, you. Look what you've done to this little flying one here. Oh, poor thing scared witless.
You were having plenty of fun playing the bad guy a moment ago. Now you're trying to blame it all on me?
Rakusai? Miko, you guys know each other?
Yes, we do. Of course we do.
Allow me to formally introduce the author of A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits, Urakusai. No, wait. To be more accurate, it's Urakusai's memory.
Oh.
Memory? But isn't he a spirit?
Ah, spirits, memories. They're just different words to describe the same thing. Something that comes from the ley lines.
Do you remember that recent incident when the Rift Hounds were gnawing at the sacred Sakura's roots? You witnessed human memories leaking from the ley lines, didn't you? Well, since there are human memories, of course there are going to be yokai memories too.
That makes sense.
In life, yokai possess supernatural powers, and even when they are a shadow of their former selves from a bygone era, they still have the ability to control whether they are visible or not.
So if we see a ghost, that is what we will
survive
know.
longer in the world than those of humans.
Indeed, indeed. I was wandering around the sacred Sakura's roots when I suddenly heard someone yelling, "Please, someone, anyone, help me write a truly amazing novel." It piqued my curiosity, so I popped inside his body and wrote a novel for him.
So that's how it happened.
Yep.
Why did you include a summoning
How dare he.
incantation in the novel?
Oh, little one. Not to toot my own horn here, but when I was alive, I wasn't just another kitsune, no. I was a mighty and powerful Daiyuko. The memories of other yokai can't possess human bodies at will like I can. But with this incantation, they can go one last little joyride in the world for a couple of days. Anything they're still itching to do, they can go and get it done.
But...
She's trying to say that all the commotion this causes is likely to be a great disturbance to the humans.
Disturbance? I guess you mean that we might leave them with some broken dreams after we leave, hmm? Oh, yes. And they might have a fever or whatever. But you know, I actually think that the most admirable thing about human beings is the way that they go out and shape their fate with their own two hands, given that they're not born blessed with the same powers that we enjoy. As for those who would rather draw on external power than seek to improve themselves, it's quite right that they learn their lesson eventually. So when you think about it, we're actually doing the humans a big favor. Miko, you agree, don't you?
My god.
Yes, that's what I thought too.
Alright then. You finally convinced Paimon. You guys were right.
What are you scared of, little one? Don't be deceived by her day-to-day antics. Miko is actually one of the most powerful yokai out there.
Yep, that
Not
I
only
did
that,
not,
Rakusai, but my latest work has beaten that
Question.
book you wrote, A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits, to become the most popular in Inazuma.
Of course. You were never one to make extra work for yourself where you can help it. And yet you went to all these lengths to find my painting room, and even took the trouble to summon me. I knew you must have some ulterior motive. You were always the one to pick a quarrel with me when we all used to gather around and share stories. All right. You win, I lose. Happy now?
I finally get to hear you say it centuries later. Ooh, I must say it feels good.
Dang. She's kind of evil.
I remember when you were just a little girl, always hanging off my shoulders. A few hundred years later, and you're all grown up.
Oh, Urakusai, how much time do you have left?
Not much. That goes for all of us, actually.
We've all got to go back where we came from in the end. Everyone's quite content in many ways, but they still can't help but ask, are we ever going to have another Hyakyako?
Don't you worry about
What is that?
Urakusai. Arrangements are being made. When my bell rings, it means the moonless night is upon us.
Great. Wonderful. Fantastic. Miko, it's been nice catching up, but I'd better conserve my energy if I want to stick it out until then. So, I'll be on my way now.
All right. Goodbye then, Urakusai.
One last thing, Miko. I just want to know, have you been well all these years?
I've been great, of course. Every day is a happy one. Especially these days. Not only do I have my light novels, but I've also met these two delightfully nosy outlanders.
Thanks.
And even A is finally starting to come to her senses. Quite a miracle, given how pig-headed she can be.
Oh, well, great. That's fantastic.
Urakusai, you'd be right at home in this era. A great storyteller and artist like yourself would be the Yae Publishing House's ace in the hole. And I would personally be hounding you over your next installment.
No. And that's how you find friendship, I guess.
Disappeared.
He did indeed.
Are you awake? How are you feeling?
Are you all there? Here, like last time, repeat after me.
3, 2,
You
1.
beat me to it. Looks like your brain is intact. So, your first possession, What was it like?
Weird. I remember everything pretty clearly.
Good. Saves me from having to explain everything again. Hearing Urakusai admit defeat has put me in the most wonderful mood. In return, it's only fair that we make sure to deliver on what they're all hoping for.
You mean the moonless night?
Yes. Though they only represent a tiny proportion of the memories in the ley lines, it will still be quite a sight to behold when the time comes. Since you've come this far, why don't you do one last thing for me, I'll need your help with the ritual.
Okay.
You cannot be serious, Miko. After all that, you still have more errands for us? Huh. You guys teamed up to scare Paimon just now. If you think Paimon's gonna do anything you ask for, think again!
Yeah, Paimon.
Come on. I'm really only asking you to finish what you started.
Oh.
Besides,
Thanks.
your paychecks are still in my hands.
Ooh, she got me. My paycheck!
Well, there's no way out now. We're in too deep.
Wow, thanks, my man. Great that you can, like, be there for us. Like, always you that need the paycheck. Maha. Maha. Mahaha. I wanted to mahaha. It was a nice feel. Let's get up there. Let's teleport to the magical call. For a moonless night, for a moonless night. It is time. Ding, ding.
Well, hello there, my little helpers. So nice of you to join me. You're right on time, too.
As if we had a choice. We just want our paychecks. So, Miko, what exactly do we have to do to make this Hyakyako happen?
Good question.
Also, to be clear, we actually have no idea what it even means.
It might sound ominous, but to put it simply, the Hyakyako is just a gathering of the yokai. Back in the day at yokai gatherings, once everyone had had plenty to drink, one by one they'd start soaring into the sky with their yokai powers. There were so many of them that their silhouettes would block out the moon.
Oh, that
but
sounds
now,
beautiful.
the yokai memories that leak from the ley lines are weak. They are no longer able to fly. So I will be performing a convocation ritual for them, gathering all the wandering memories together in one place. When the time comes, they will gather in the sky above the Grand Narukami Shrine. Once their energy is spent, they will be satisfied and return to where they belong.
I see, I
All the
understand.
preparations for the ritual have actually been made well in advance. Remember the incantation and the mention of moonless night that I added to our novel?
Yes.
Oh, yeah! Something about reciting the secret spells of Lady Kitsune on a moonless night.
That's the one. Actually, it's not a wish-granting incantation at all. It's a spell to help calm the ley line memories. When that time comes, let's all pitch in and help send them on their way.
What do you need from me?
I will start the ritual preparations shortly, and at that time, I need you to do 2 things.
Okay.
First, tell the shrine maidens to leave the mountain. During the Hyakyako, a whole swarm of yokai memories will be hanging around in the air above the Grand Narukami Shrine. Having the shrine maidens leave avoids the bothersome issue of someone potentially getting possessed.
That is a fair
After
assumption.
that, I will commence the ritual, and the memories will begin to congregate. This will take some time. I need you at the foot of Mount Yogo during this part to keep an eye on nearby monster activity. The memories are normally dispersed and don't pose a threat, but when their energy is concentrated, it is likely to disturb the monsters. They may see this as an opportunity to try and make it up the mountain. I need you to fend them off so that that doesn't happen.
I am ready.
Alright, got it.
Let's do this.
Well, if at that point you felt like coming to the shrine and getting a close-up view of the yokai, I wouldn't say no.
Oh, thanks.
Let's get going.
Let's go. Oh, do I need to go this way? Don't have enough. It is higher up. I needed to tell them. That makes more sense, honestly. Shrine Maiden, please leave. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. This was not the Shrine Maiden I needed to tell. That's interesting. Excuse me.
Descend the mountain? Are those Lady Kuji's orders?
Yep, Miku said the ritual she's gonna perform soon might pose a physical danger to you all.
I see. I'll evacuate everyone right away. What about you?
We'll be taking care of a couple other things for her. And once we're done with that, we're gonna come back and do the ritual together.
Because we want to make sure she's safe too.
It seems like Lady Kuji places great trust in you. Lady Kuji's never allowed anyone else to be in her presence when she's conducted rituals like this in the past. Thank you for helping with the ritual, and good luck.
Don't worry, we're much stronger than we look.
Yep. I got that power, you know.
About to start the ritual. Come on, let's go deal with the monsters down the mountain.
Oh, that's a jump. That's a total jump. Are you ready to see me fight these monsters off? Oh, I need to kill her. She's annoying. You can't have annoying people on my field.
Yeah. Stand with me.
Hey. Can't see. So.
What?
I hear everything.
You're the most hated person in my life story. And that's
Why
impressive.
is there a chest here?
One with the forest.
Dissipate. Lightning purifies.
And Morris? The Temple of Wisdom.
Mercy. This body belongs to us.
Okay. area. And as night falls, the monsters slowly conquer.
Monsters look really riled up.
Let's get rid of them from Miko.
Let's get rid of them.
Let's beat them up.
Then we can get back in time to see the yokai. All right, here they come.
And Shroud.
What's this?
Excuse me, that was kind of rude.
This might hurt a little. Sharing my knowledge.
Stand with me.
Shazam!
One with the forest. Yeah.
Grow. What?
Yeah. Let's nip that in the bud.
I see everything. Your Morris, dissipate.
Can't see? Keep up. So. Oh, berry. Yeah.
Fruits?
Shazam! Hey! The Temple of Wisdom!
Our bond is strong. I'll settle this.
And Shroud.
There's so many of them! Come on, you can do it!
I would wish I got some stuff for it. This is hard work, man.
This may hurt a little.
Can't see? So. Oh, one thing after and.
Hey!
Stand with me.
And Shroud.
Don't hold back.
Alright, that's the last of the monsters.
Let's go up and see. Let's see what that comes. It will be so beautiful when we see the folk.
How far along do
The
you
folks?
think the ritual is?
Yeah. Ready? Let's see it. Wow.
Wow, so many! They're everywhere! Huh?
Yes, the memories of the yokai. They haven't been able to relax and soar through the air like this for a long time.
They're beautiful.
Come with me. You all right, little one? You look a little nervous.
It's just, Hyman's never seen anything like this before. Whoa, they've really blacked out the moon!
Very beautiful how that works.
It does look a little intimidating, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But I know them. They may be loud and brash at times, but they are good and brave souls. Even after losing their lives in a brutal war, they have never given in to grief or despair.
Aww.
Alas, their time is short.
Beautiful. Oh. Jesus. Oh, maybe I never need to fight Miko. He looks powerful.
Do they really have to go?
It's a feast, and all feasts come to an end. Since you're sorry to see them leave, why don't you do the recital along with me?
Oh?
O Hakushin, cause of this enchantment, in reverence I perform this rite.
In reverence, I perform this rite.
To be a guiding light.
More than beautiful.
Look, lights are coming from
It looks
the
like
inside.
lanterns. It's wonderful.
The book says, recite the secret spells of Lady Kitsune tonight, and our wishes will come true.
O
wishing, cause of this enchantment.
I perform this rite to be a guiding light.
Your unrivaled power will be honored eternally.
Urakusai, you asked if I was doing well. Really, every day is a happy day for me. But watching you all leave now, I can't help but feel a little lonely. Just a little, of course.
Just a itchy tiny bit.
Just as I thought. The ritual went very smoothly. Thank you both.
Miko, are you alright?
Oh, I'm great.
But the look on your face just now...
I'm fine, seriously. Really, No. Honestly, you two.
Miko...
Fine. Well, if you're dead set on doing something for me, you can treat me to a meal.
Sure, no problem. A meal it is.
A meal, it's a deal.
Well, see you soon then.
Let's go and get a meal with Miko. Where the fuck does she go? What is the point? It's oh, well, let's just make it a day. There we go. And here we are.
Today is the day we agreed to treat me.
I know, that's why we're going. Let's just fast.
Ad Astra Abyss.
Yes. Other stuff. You know, whatever. These are the only ones they have done. I just get distracted. Easily! Maha!
Oh, wait is unbearable. How is the next chapter of the miraculous adventures of the Traveler not released yet?
It was quite a surprise when the moonless night finally came.
Yeah, that huge black cloud over Mount Yogo that night. It just seemed to form out of nowhere.
Very
but
beautiful.
Then nothing happened after I made a wish using the method in that book.
Yeah. I guess light novels are just fiction after all, huh?
That night was definitely the nail in the coffin for the incantations from novels fad. Still, something tells me the miraculous adventures of the Traveler will remain an interesting series for a long time to come.
Huh? Paimon can't see Miko anywhere. Guess she's not out here. Maybe she went inside already. Let's head in and look for her.
Let's go. Miko! I'm ready for you. Are you okay?
Ah, my little friends. There you are.
Miko, what is this? You started eating without us?
I did, yes. You're paying after all. The thought of being able to eat the most expensive dishes and drink the finest sake
Hey!
all for absolutely free? Oh, I just couldn't wait any longer. Ah, boss, see these two faces here? Remember them. They're the ones picking up the bill later.
Alrighty.
My god.
What's gotten into you? Come on, sit yourselves down. You have to try this fish. It's found exclusively in the waters around Seirai Island. They shipped it to Inazuma overnight, and it was still alive right up until I ordered it. Or maybe you'd rather try this? I know. I normally can't bring myself to drink sake this expensive either. If you don't drink alcohol, that's fine too. There are all kinds of fruit juices covering the whole price spectrum.
Miko!
Miko! You are outrageous! Last time we were here working on the novel, all you ordered for us was the
strange. I remember no such thing.
Well, I certainly remember it.
Oh, so what? You did offer to treat me to a meal, didn't you? Anyway, I am something of a VIP, you know. Wouldn't you find it embarrassing to treat me anything short of lavishly?
Miko, this meal is going to be super expensive! Aren't you afraid we won't be able to afford it?
Oh, don't you worry about that. You can most definitely afford it.
Gee,
They're
thanks.
still printing your light novel by the batch, you know. You have quite the generous payment due.
What? Aw, darn it! She tricked us into this! Miko was after our Mora from the very beginning!
Shouldn't have let her guard down.
Oh, the looks on your faces right now. Too perfect.
My god, Miko.
Oh, by the way, since nobody's wishes came true on the moonless night, novels with incantations are no longer in vogue. So you'll have to come up with something new for the next chapter of The Miraculous Adventures of the Traveler. The deadline is looming. I'm counting on you.
Gee, thanks. Oh, how I will be so excited to come. Ah, look at them sitting with his funny tail. Very funny. I am thinking about doing one more, but I'm also kinda in the tiredness. Let's do this one. Because I don't think it will be that long, because I sadly had to start on it a little bit. So don't hate me for it. I didn't want to. But it's not the most important part we lose, so let's just get it through and enjoy the story for what we get. Down below. Boink.
Our bond is strong.
Go for it, thank you. He is stealing all the food here. Get everyone and get the situation straight. How do I get everyone? Excuse me. With the young Candelo decided to bait Everyone, get us together after hearing Nilo's faults.
Trying to best the academia in a debate is attempting the impossible.
Maybe.
If you really want to try, I won't stop you. It's not like our situation can get any worse.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't think it's entirely hopeless. To Sharif, Nilu's approach will come off as naive, but that kind of frankness is exactly what they lack the most. Things might turn out differently from what you expect.
I am in favor of such a romantic feat. No playwright will turn down a compelling underdog story.
Well.
Sure, in fiction, but I'm not sure how well that will translate to reality. I'm not saying that I don't support you, Nilu. If you need my help, just say the word. Anything is better than just standing aside and watching the theater get demolished.
Yeah, agreed.
I'm also pitching in. Let's show the academia that we have some fight in us.
Thank you, everyone. I feel a lot less nervous with your support.
Let's fight!
Not to rain on your parade, but my father is a real hard guy to deal with. He's erudite, meticulous, demanding, and exceedingly familiar with rigorous logic. It'll be extremely difficult to beat him in a debate. You all already knew that. But you just didn't want to hurt Nilu's feelings. When all's said and done, aren't you hurting her just the same?
That's enough, Inaya.
That's kinda rude to say it like that.
Sorry, I've ruined the mood.
It's okay.
I just can't force myself to expect a positive outcome.
Yeah.
Nilu shouldn't have to push herself for the sake of an impossible goal.
Success comes from hard work.
It's way too early to give up.
Nani? Nani?
You're right, Inaya.
Frederick, what are you doing? Why are you
We're up against
nannying?
the academia. Everyone knows that they're very
Hi.
powerful.
What have you been doing so far since last time I said hi to you?
But I still want to try. I'm reluctant to just let Zubair Theater go.
Ah, you're doing the
It's not
bachelor
just
work.
me.
Is it going well?
Everyone else here feels the same way.
You got a lot of done?
If we're
Might have
happy,
made the proof now.
should speak up
Oh,
and let our
nice.
voices be
Like
heard.
writing it,
Say what's on your mind and do what you think should
like
be done.
creating it.
If we
I
fail
still
after
don't
that,
understand the
then at
proof
least we
part.
won't have any regrets.
I just understand it apart.
after
So
all,
now I'm checking if
the
there
only
are
thing we can
arrows in the
control right
segment.
now is
Ah,
our
okay,
choice
okay,
at
so
this
both
very
of them.
moment.
Okay, okay, okay.
I
That's nice. Good
understand
job.
what you're trying to
Hope
say.
there's no arrows so you can get
I
it through
also
fast.
have my own intense feelings of anger and regret.
Then, could I trouble you to tell your father about our plan for a debate? You can still get in touch with your family, right?
Yes.
And is
I
Cat by
can.
your side?
Then, please help us pass on my request. I've never participated in a debate, and truth be told, I'm still not really confident in myself. But since we've decided on a debate, I'll do my best to prepare for it. I'll gather everyone's thoughts and let them be known to all during the debate. I, by myself, definitely don't have enough wisdom to beat your father. But what about the entire theater combined? Then we should have a chance,
Cat
right?
is taking
Right.
a shower. Ah, but she has been with you the whole day. That's nice.
Nilu.
I expect that she has been with you kind of like the whole day. Though you still have been working on the bachelor, so that's good. Good that you keep focus.
Sue, we aren't getting into a fight. But thank you for your encouraging words. I'll do my best.
Did you get something good to eat yesterday?
Back there, Nilu.
At dinner.
I felt that I might have said a bit too much. Anyway,
Let's collect his votes.
Mr. Zubair, we're trying to put together a list of arguments that might be useful. Any ideas?
We had pasta with a cheese
It won't
sauce
be
and
difficult
chicken.
to explain
Sounds
our
delicious.
position. They're in the wrong.
I like
and they
chicken.
know it.
I don't know
meticulously
about the
managed
cheese
this
sauce,
theater's
mostly
affairs
because
for
I'm not a fan
years,
of cheese.
And I have abided by every procedure and obtained
Did Cat
every
remember to
permit.
take her lactose so
I
you
did all of
wouldn't
that
have
to
to die
protect
later on?
ourselves if something like this were to occur.
That is a very important
I
question.
didn't expect them to disregard the rules altogether.
This might have something to do with Inaya.
Yes, I know. But anyone who's staying at the
The
theater
cheese
is
was
one of
Parmesan,
us.
so not much lactose. Oh, okay.
If I
Wait,
can't even
is there
protect
not a
the
lot of
members the
lactose in
theater
Parmesan?
from outside pressure, then I have failed in my
I did
duty
not know
as
that.
a manager.
And the sauce
In
was made
summary,
using lactose-free
you need
stuff. Ah,
sufficient
okay, that's
confidence
good.
And strict adherence to the rules. At least for now.
So you didn't
they don't
die.
have the authority to demolish the theater. As long as you double down on that
Parmesan
point
is a
and
dry
force
cheese,
them to
so
concede
but
it,
it's still cheese.
you'll gain
That's
an
why I thought
advantage.
like lactose.
Alright,
I don't know how lactose works.
I've seen many situations like this before. The academia sure likes to get its nose into everyone's business. While you prepare for the debate, I will also prepare the theater for the potential aftermath. It's best to prepare for the worst outcome. Once you're done chatting, do me a favor and tell our customers that we're canceling all of our shows.
Dang, canceling.
Right now, no one's in the right frame of mind to perform. I have to consider both our staff and our customers. This is the only way. Nilu, you are incredible. With your talent and youth, you had the least to lose out of all of us. And yet you were still the first to take a stand.
I've never thought about leaving your theater, Mr. Zubair. I truly love this place, and I want to keep dancing here. I also want to keep dancing with everyone else.
You're becoming more and more like her. Do your best.
So what will you have to
We'll
for
do
dinner
all that
today?
we can.
If I may
Leave
ask.
the rest to fate.
I like to know what other people are gonna
My
eat.
teacher. She was an excellent dancer, but I've gained a whole new level of respect for you. Inaya was right. It's true that I couldn't bear to bring down Nilu. It wasn't out of pity or anything, though. I just felt like I didn't have the right to say anything. After all,
Nilu was the one who bravely
We're
stepped
eating
up
a
and
cat's
proposed
pants
to fight
place,
back.
so I can't remember what this
didn't
every
have
year.
that kind of
Oh,
courage
okay,
or
okay.
initiative.
Then it's
I'd be a
also
terrible
different. Then
person
you
if I
can
stayed back
not
with
always
Nilu
know
without
what
doing
you're
anything
gonna
to
get.
help.
But that sounds nice.
She knows better than any of us how difficult
It sounds
this path
like
will be.
her parents really like you. It just sounds like they're very nice.
I didn't expect you all to challenge the academia. That reminded me of my younger years. Back then, I feared nothing and no one, and I was always charging
I
into
hope
the
they
most
do.
dangerous of places.
It sounds like they do.
I can't do things like that anymore, but those were some of the best times of my life.
Sorry. If the theater really ends up
At least
being
if they
demolished,
didn't, they
then
wouldn't like see you that often.
It's all right.
And I feel like you
There's
see
no
like
need
Kat
to
and
think
like
such
her
heavy
family
thoughts.
pretty often.
Even if the building gets demolished,
So don't
its
be worried
people will
about
still
that.
all be here. Have
Yeah,
faith in the
exactly,
resilience
you
of an
do.
adventurer. We can always figure something out.
But won't you have regrets if things just come to an abrupt end? It'd be like when you were forced to stop adventuring.
Ah, so that's what you were worrying about. Relax. I've had a lot of experience with regret. Things are painful at first, but as they say, time heals all wounds. Look at us now. Serene and Abi are happy. And Serene has also just passed his theater exam. He can start acting soon. He was thrilled because he can soon perform on the same stage as you. We wouldn't be here if it weren't for our past struggles. And would Serene have become a happier person? That's hard to
So
say.
how many proofs do you have in your bachelor?
Trying to make us
If I may
feel
ask.
better?
I know that you needed 3
Yes,
new ones,
but
or was
I
it 2 new
truly
ones?
do mean what
And
I
then you
say.
already had some?
Being here at the theater
I think it
has
was
taught
2
me
you
an
had.
important lesson.
3.
The most important
Ah,
thing
so you
about
had
the
3 in total.
experience
Yeah, so
is
you needed 2.
how
I
you
needed
choose
2,
to
2 new
interpret
ones.
it.
Ah, okay, okay.
I can choose to believe that my life ended with my husband's death. Or I can choose to believe that it was a
Well,
blessing in
that's
disguise.
kind of impressive that
For
you got up
Serene
with
and
2
Abi.
more after, like,
Similarly, even
him
if
telling
this
you
theater
after, like,
disappears,
one day
a new
before.
beginning might just be around the corner.
That is not something that's just that
Good
simple.
and bad are all
Nuh-uh.
human-made concepts. It all depends on how we choose to see things.
You have a point.
Nilu, I know how important Zubair Theater is to you.
One of them is just
You don't
copying
have to
some
be
of
so
my
nervous. We're all here
consular's
with you.
old work and
The theater won't go down so easily.
rewording it. Ah, okay.
you, Miss Reagan.
That's an interesting way to
No
say
need to
that.
thank me. If anything, you inspired me with your bravery. You might have what it takes to become an excellent adventurer.
She has it in the back.
You're too kind. All right, I gotta cheer up. I can't waste everyone's words of encouragement. I feel a lot better.
That's good. You need to have to
Good.
feel good.
My children and I will be cheering you on at the debate.
Okay, let's find the last person. That's good to be
When the day
you.
comes, I'll get my friends and the theater's customers to come and support Nilu. If anything goes wrong, I'll have them scream and shout and drown out whatever Sharif says. I can't do that? Fine, I'll think of something else.
This just came out of nowhere. What'll happen?
Beats me. Everyone else must also be at a loss.
Paimon doesn't really want to talk to him.
So, you've already developed some prejudices against me. And to think, I was just about to put forward a suggestion.
Oh, Paimon will listen to that.
Although, I know not if you have a new answer to my previous question. Now seems like an appropriate time to revisit it. What do you think is the meaning of art?
Oh, this again? We probably do need to tackle this question if we want to prove the value of the arts. I don't know how to explain it, but all I know is that when my performance makes the audience happy, I also become very happy.
Does that count as a meaning?
You answered him so seriously. Careful, Nilu. This guy's ramblings never make any sense.
No, no. Nilu's answer far surpasses yours. And it is close to my own. The meaning of art comes not from its creators, but from its audience. In other words, only art that can be appreciated by others will impart its essence and value upon the minds of its audience.
True.
This is something that the academia can never understand.
You seem to have many stories of your own.
I once pursued the mastery of art, much like how a researcher would chase wisdom and knowledge. However, the more of a connoisseur I became, the less I felt I understood. I began to question what it truly meant for art to be understood at all. I found that I could comprehend even the most complex and sophisticated of works, and yet somehow that provided me with little solace. I remained even perplexed about this conundrum until I visited this theater and watched one of Nilu's performances.
It was that life-changing?
Everyone here had a joyous part in the overall experience. The actors upon the stage basked in the love of their audience, while those in the house immersed themselves in the wondrous ambiance. In all honesty, from a purely critical point of view, the performances here are exceedingly average.
Hey, don't say something like that.
But what bewildered me was how, despite the performance's middling quality, they captivated their whole audience. They captivated even me. I realized then that I had walked the wrong road. The mastery of art was never what I truly wanted. I left the so-called frontiers of artistic research and came to this theater, for this is where I can finally find what I seek. Art will no longer be a castle in the sky. Whether it be inspiring or entertaining, art must be appreciated by others to confer value. If art cannot accomplish that, then it is meaningless.
When you put it that way... Mr. Zubair and I refused to follow the Academia's orders to change our shows for a similar reason. To put it simply, we were afraid that our shows would lose their meaning if people couldn't understand them.
I once stood in the spotlight, but I relinquished fame and acclaim for the freedom I enjoy today. I care not for where my feet may take me next, but Nilu, you need to remember one thing. You already stand upon the finest stage there is, and that is a rare gift that should never be taken for granted. You cannot give it up, not even to the Academia.
Shit, I can't give it up.
I understand. Thank you for your words of
That's gonna be
encouragement, Mr. Kasane.
something then.
Dust the cobwebs away from the eyes of those scholars.
We will wash some away, don't worry.
About the theater.
I got the power. Wait, what is it?
Wow.
Let's go.
My mind didn't think he had that in...
You're here. Is the theater actually closing?
He's been worried sick for a while now. He wouldn't stop talking the whole way back.
Hey, you two.
What exactly happened? Did someone come down from the Academia?
Yes. He told us that we have to shut down the theater within 30 days, and that it's going to be demolished.
What the heck? That came with no warning.
I know, right?
They're messing with us again.
Don't tell me you'll have to listen to him.
Come on. You know the answer to that.
Yeah, it is a direct order from the Academia.
There's no need to worry, though. I'm preparing for a public debate with the Academia. If I win, we might be able to overturn things and change their minds.
Really? That's terrific. You have my full support, no doubt about that.
Thanks.
Mine too. So what was their excuse anyway? They still not a fan of the theater's programs?
Yeah, something like that.
Good thing they have the power to make rash decisions about things they don't even understand, huh?
Yeah, they need to touch more grass, not books.
Exactly. They want to look down on us? Ha! We'll look down on them first.
Jesus.
Don't worry. Everyone here has your back. The Academia's recklessness won't get them any praise.
Right. They might think that some forms of knowledge are more valuable than others, but everyone can equally appreciate art. If they don't believe that, send them my way. I got them beat on this subject.
Maybe you can prepare some questions on the details of dance performance to make things harder for them at the debate.
Sounds like a good idea. Maybe that's something I should do.
Ignore him. He's joking. Just do things your way. No matter what, we will always support you.
Aw, that's cute.
Thank you all so much. Your understanding and support make me feel a lot better.
There are always more solutions than problems. If
That
you
is
need
true.
help during a debate, just shout and the entire Grand Bazaar will be at your beck and call.
Gotta show them who has the people's support.
That's
I
a
feel like
way
the
to
pieces
say
are
it.
starting to fall into place. Let's head back to the theater and organize our thoughts.
Aw, the kids.
Have you seen Miss Inaya? No, Miss Nilu. Miss Inaya isn't back yet. Wasn't she just passing on a message? Does she really need this much time?
Because she has started arguing with her father again.
Oh no. Traveler, Paimon, I think I've messed up big time. What if
Huh?
Inaya never planned to come back?
What do you mean? Calm down. Oh, please explain,
It's just a
honestly.
gut feeling, but knowing her, she probably feels like she's completely responsible for what happened. She probably thinks that all of this happened because she was staying here. Oh, right. As soon as her father showed up, she said that her father was targeting her. So she's felt like that this whole time. She has a long-standing conflict with her father. That's why she ran away from home. She doesn't think that we can win the debate, and she doesn't want to implicate us. So she thought leaving was the best thing to do.
So even after we decided to go for the debate,
And then she just quietly left afterward.
she's too harsh on herself.
Exactly. She's being too pessimistic. How will you know if you don't try? Anyway, first things first. We have to get her back. But where should we start? Sumeru is huge!
That is true.
I think I might know. Let's
Oh.
start by looking outside the city.
Okay,
Before I brought her
okay.
to Zubair Theater, she was staying at a remote campsite. She got a fever from drinking unclean water, so I carried her back. If she has nowhere else to go after leaving the theater, she might go back and strike out on her own again. Then let's go take a look. Yes, let's hurry.
Let's go. Wrong place. Bad dolls. Can't even go through dolls, man. Oh, that's a little too far not to teleport, man. I'm too lazy for that. Can't work with that. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Everyone hold hands. There are signs that someone had stayed here very recently. But we can't confirm if it was Inaya or not. Let's take a look around first. Did you hear that?
I did indeed. I heard a voice.
I heard it too. Let's investigate.
Get close to the direction. Yeah.
It sounds like we're getting closer. The voice is coming from over there. Yes, we're almost there.
I'm coming.
everything. Watch this!
Stand with me.
Oh.
Stay back!
It's Inaya! She's being attacked by wild animals! Inaya, don't be scared! We're coming to help!
Are you good? Or should I come in?
Shroud!
Dissipate!
Watch this!
Yeah.
Inaya. What have we talked about?
Thank you. There weren't so many big animals in this area before. They chased after me for a long time. Sorry. I'm causing trouble for you again.
Why did you leave by yourself? You really don't think we have a chance at winning the debate?
No. I just thought it would take too much effort. Everything happened because of me. If I'm gone, then the situation will resolve itself.
But everyone else is trying so hard.
Yeah! Everyone's working together towards a happier ending. No one should be singled out for blame.
It's all right if it's me. As long as the theater won't get demolished. You guys are the kindest people I've ever met.
That's
you
cute.
shouldn't suffer so much because of me.
Listen to me, Inaya. Even if you were the reason that all of this happened, no one would blame you. Mr. Zubair said that you're one of us, so that means we will protect you. No matter what happens, we'll stand as one.
Nilu, there will always be a victim. Whether it's me or the theater. You can't eat your cake and have it too. You can't win a debate against the academia.
Oh.
Especially
You don't
since
just.
your opponent will be my father.
Why are you so sure of
My
this?
father is an extremely demanding man. He's always wanted me to become an exceptional researcher and his academic successor. I tried my best to meet his expectations and did everything I could. But he still wasn't satisfied. Or rather, he had just never been satisfied with me.
That's
I'm no
okay.
genius. But whenever he berated me, it was always as if he was asking me, why aren't you a genius? Yeah, like I'd know.
So that's why you ran away from home?
At first, I thought the father would slowly come to terms with reality. But he just wouldn't stop berating me. For one exam, I earned the 3rd highest score. I thought that all my hard work had finally paid off, and that I could finally make father feel some modicum of joy. I even used the embroidery skills I learned at school to make a commemorative gift for him. I thought, even this daughter can make her father happy sometimes.
Oh, that's just sad, man.
I see. When we were embroidering your gift before, I didn't feel like you were new at it.
Yeah. Sorry for not bringing it up. These are not pleasant memories for me. I was tired of him yelling at me every day. All I wanted was to see him smile at me. But he was more angry than ever before once I'd given him my embroidery and told him my score. He flung my present to the side. You think you should be proud of 3rd place? Reflect on why you weren't first.
Damn.
I forgot how long I'd cried for. I only remember my parents arguing. My mother also thought he went overboard. They argued for such a long time. My father eventually stormed out and slammed the door behind him. I didn't get a single sentence of apology or any words of comfort. I've completely given up. We're destined to never, understand each other.
How horrible.
I don't think you can beat him in a debate. Because he doesn't even understand what kind of place a theater is. He can never understand the relationship performers have with their audience. His life is devoid of camaraderie or friendship. He just wants everything to happen according to his wishes, as if the world revolves around him. What we cherish, our little place in this world, means nothing to him.
Jesus.
It sounds like your past has had a huge impact on you.
I understand now, Inaya. But when we were preparing for the debate, I heard something quite wise. Maybe it'll help you.
I don't remember the name, so
Everyone is free to appreciate art. No form of art is inherently superior.
yeah, I like that.
Everyone is free to appreciate art. No, there should be something else that's more relevant. Mr. Zubair has been
Alright, we're
meticulously
leaving for
managing
Kat's
the
parents'
theater.
place now. Okay, have fun! Have some good food and enjoy your time.
Art must first be appreciated by others to confer value.
No, there should...
No?
The most important thing about an experience is how you choose to interpret it.
That's the
Miss
one.
Raykar has gone through a lot in her life, but she told us that she's very happy to live at the theater now. Although she ran into misfortune, it led her down a new path in life. She sees that as a blessing. She told me that the most important thing about an experience is how you choose to interpret it.
Interpret it?
I can sympathize with your unhappiness at home, but after you ran away, you ended up at the theater and became one of us. Those unhappy experiences allowed you to really cherish your bonds with everyone, and also gave you the opportunity to become friends with us. Don't let your past suffering keep you from the new life that you've worked so hard to find.
Oh.
Let the past stay in the past.
You don't have to be so hard on yourself anymore.
When I ran away from home, I swore that I would leave my family conflicts behind. But you're right. All I'm doing now is falling right back into it.
Maybe you'll disappoint him, but that doesn't matter. You have a new future waiting for you.
Yep.
Don't let go of the answer you've worked so hard to find.
That's right. If we put our heads together, there's bound to be a way.
You're right. There's nothing to be afraid of. I'm not trying to meet his expectations. So why should I give up because of him? I can't afford to lose anything more. We have to win. The debate will not only protect Zubair Theater, but also allow me to settle things with Father.
That's right.
That's the spirit.
Let's go. I'll tell my father about the debate. I know him very well. Even if he looks down on us, I know how to make him accept.
All right, let's go.
That's what we wanna hear. So let's go. Huh? Oi. I'm so confused. Where is my mission? It did not appear. Ah! Are you kidding me? A toast of victory. Ah, that is none of these, I see. Well, that is something else, I guess. Anyway, I think I will be stopping for now since I have been streaming for 3 hours, and I do expect to also be streaming later So I want a little break before that. So see you later. Hope you all have fun and talk to you later. Bye!